who still live there. All right, 22 pounds.
Justice Department indicted him in a Tennessee courtroom on charges of human smuggling and conspiracy. Madison Scarpino live in Nashville with more. Hi, Madison. Hi, Dana. The high-profile illegal immigrant, the Maryland man, the Salvadorian man, we've been hearing about him for months. Well, he's now reportedly in a Tennessee jail about 70 miles from here in Nashville. We're expecting him back here in this federal courthouse on Friday, and this all comes after months of legal and political battles over his deportation. The newly unsealed indictment lays out several allegations against Abrego Garcia over almost a decade. It accuses him of smuggling thousands of legal immigrants across the U.S., including children and violent MS-13 gang members. It also accuses him of participating in the murder of rival gang members' mother. The Trump administration has long accused the illegal immigrant of having gang ties and just being a dangerous man. But Abrego Garcia's defense attorney says,
all right, you should be live on YouTube now, Paul.
What a mess.
Yeah, you're live. You're good.
Senator Chris Van Hollen even went to visit Abrego Garcia.
What a mess.
What's up, Randy Joel? How's it going?
Former acting ICE director Jonathan Fahey doesn't see it that way.
Oh, just about to give me a stroke.
You're all right. You got it. Yeah, Lance should be back in here in a second. I can finish telling him about that compressor. As you dropped off and me and him were still talking for like 20 seconds, and all of a sudden it cut us out.
All of a sudden, Shazam, huh?
Warren, TJ, what's up?
This is a victory for due process. It's a victory for the Constitution. It should not have taken this long. I mean, as you indicated, the Trump administration dragged its feet. But it's President Abrego Garcia now come home and have his
TJ.
Yeah, that means my headset mic's working.
Yeah,
Haven't
your
used my
mic's
phone.
working.
Yeah, I'm having to use my phone because my internet's out.
We can
for some
hear you.
reason.
Captain Joe.
Yeah, I woke up and the internet was out, and I don't know. I reset the router and modem and everything. Nothing.
I would say this bill, this is a massive win for the Trump administration, the court of public opinion, because it really makes their case that he's not just the bad guy we were telling you about, he's even worse than we realized. It makes the Democrats look like fools. And secondly,
You see the new modems they got for these the Frontier's using for their fiber. Yeah, it's just a little tiny ass little box.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably the size of 2 Rukus next to each other. You know what those
Wow.
are. It's a little bit bigger than a credit card. So not very big though.
we're going to try him on these terrible charges, and they're going to deal with the deportation aspect once they get to that.
And that just plugs into a little tiny router. Like them things are getting smaller and smaller now.
and flagged him on the National Crime Information Center, which returned to gang terrorists. They called ICE and ICE never responded.
What's up, Mark?
2020.
Steve, how's it going?
Mark White, how you doing? Mark wants to come in. Okay.
Yeah, Lance hasn't popped back in, has he?
Nope.
Yeah.
Hey, Brenda.
I can Timu internet and kiss my ass, Randy. Yeah, I don't know why it's down. So I don't know. Maybe they're working on it somewhere down the road or something.
How's everybody doing this morning?
We're waiting for you.
My internet's out and I'm pissed off.
Were you having a little bit of technical
Well,
difficulty?
ever since I lost my power here at the house last night, my computers have been totally screwed up because they were all on at the time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
normally
when
when your power goes out, or if there's like a bad storm, it's normally good to unplug everything so things don't get fried up or whatever.
Yeah, but it just went out, you know? It just was on 1 minute and off the next.
Uh,
when you rebooted them, everything should have went back to normal.
That's what I thought. But, you know, I had to reset several stuff first thing this morning because it was, you know, when I was editing a ship this morning, it kept taking me to different, like fading and panning and all. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I don't see how your computer does that, because if mine kills like that, it never goes back. None of my computers have ever done that. I think it's that you're going back and when you starting everything up, you're hitting buttons.
Could be. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know.
Hey, don't forget, you know, when we got the ham and the chicken and the cooked meats,
Yeah.
you got some of them round pork things. They must still be in that bottom drawer in the fridge.
Paul don't eat anything out the fridge from the bottom drawer. He goes
So
in the garbage
TJ,
can.
what are you working today or no?
I'm off today. We were at my cousin's yesterday because it was my nephew's like little like graduation party from
A lot of people there?
they're like my cousin had her friends and had my aunt was over and uncle and a couple of my aunts and my uncle and then some of my cousin's husband's friends and stuff were over there and we were just hanging out watching some
Well,
tennis.
here's what I want to know. Did they enjoy your TJ moments?
No, I didn't have I didn't have one yesterday,
What?
to be honest with you. Yeah, no, I didn't get into the TJ.
You got to
mode.
share that experience with more people.
I know. Maybe tonight it'll happen because we're all going out to dinner for my pre-birthday celebration.
There you go.
Yeah. So maybe giggles might come out tonight.
Yeah, what you need to do is sit there at the table and be just fine, and all of a sudden, everybody having a good time? I'm having a great time.
Are you going out to dinner?
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Where are you going
just
out,
you and
T?
your-
We're going to this. What's the name of the place? Let's see. It's called Morton's Steakhouse, I think it is.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah. Is there a steakhouse called Morton's near you, Justin, or?
No, but that sounds super familiar. I've
So
heard of
where
it
did he
before.
graduate from, TJ?
Said what, Mark?
Where did he graduate from?
Oh, it was he went
High school?
into no, he's a short he's He's going into kindergarten now.
Oh, he graduated
How do
preschool.
you graduate
Yeah.
from
Preschool.
preschool to kindergarten?
Yep.
Yeah.
Preschool to kindergarten, so you take him out for a steak dinner. It's a
Sounds,
participation
sounds to
award.
me
Yeah.
like any reason to get together, you know?
Yeah.
No,
How can
that
that be
means they're
classed
bringing
as
him
a
up on the wrong path,
graduation?
because now every time he does something, he thinks he's gonna have to get something.
They did it when Aubrey graduated preschool. They did a little graduation ceremony,
Oh dear.
and they had the little diplomas for him. And
Oh,
so,
I am sorry you lost the race. Here's your trophy.
Yeah,
yeah,
you graduated. Congratulations. Your colouring is exceptional.
That's it.
yeah. Until Joe's granddaughter graduates, and he's going to be out there. That's my granddaughter. Yeah,
I'm going to that
he's
shit.
going to be yeah. He's going to be screaming, jumping up and down, all happy.
Hey, she had last year. She had a Christmas party. She had a something. It was Christmas and something else. I didn't go to Halloween. I didn't go to either one of them. So is you coming out there? Nope.
It's not exactly like they're going to hold them back a year, isn't it?
Nah, I mean, you're not going to get held back. But
You know, rethinking it now, I should have gone out there because I should have had a couple of single moms.
Yeah, there you go. Joe, you were thinking with the wrong head.
No, I was thinking with the right head. I didn't want
just-
any drama.
No, you don't want single mums with little kids.
Joe'd straighten them out fast.
I don't want any more little kids in here. The granddaughter's enough.
You got to go for single mums with grown-up kids.
oh, it's pissing me off. My internet's out.
Hodges was on the other stream as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
So what you couldn't get on, and why'd you reboot?
I didn't reboot.
Well, when you you just killed the stream, or you hit the wrong button?
No, I killed the stream because it said I had to.
Yeah,
Why
he
did
killed
it
the
have
stream.
to?
We were still sat in the waiting room on
I know.
Zoom
So
to
what
get
made
in.
it kill? What told you to kill the stream?
The Zoom, it came up on the screen that says,
Jim.
if you want to change, you got to exit one and start another.
But change what? What is it asking you to change?
And Steve.
Me,
You
Well, me and
were
Lance-
trying to restart the Zoom. That's what you're trying to do.
yeah, but
Yeah,
when me and
restart Zoom.
but when me
But
and
you didn't
Lance
need
were
to.
in
You're
the-
already live.
Yeah, but I couldn't
but-
tell I was live because I this screen, the Zoom workplace screen, I couldn't get it to come up. I was watching the live portion, which is like a 7 or
Zoom
10 second
Workspace
delay.
was on your computer, Paul. Somewhere on your computer, you had it covered up by another tab. You just had to go through the tabs, click on each tab
No,
on the
it
bottom
had
or
it
top,
had
wherever.
the
Testing, 1,
YouTube
2.
was full screen, and I couldn't figure out how to close it down.
You go up to you put
Testing,
all
1,
the way up
2.
to the top right,
Testing, 1,
and
2.
it'll light up again, and you can hit the button. Top right. When you go up there and you
Morning,
hit the top,
Gray.
you're gonna have the
Good morning.
negative, the box, and the X. You hit the negative, or you hit what? Probably when you saw that, all of those tabs were open up there, and one of them was Zoom. But you didn't do that. You just listened to what it said because you tried to reopen it.
Good morning, Brenda.
Hey, Dre, how you doing?
Hey, Paul, hey, Dre, wait a minute. Wait. You shaking that hand off screen. We don't want to see that.
Come on.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's better. I was about to wonder about you.
There you go.
Gotta get my
But-
pineapple juice. But I just want to come in this morning, especially, and just give congratulations and appreciation for how we conducted ourselves last night with that new gentleman.
No.
Yeah, nobody got shot. That was good.
Nope.
Well, nobody got shot, but I think we all acted very, very. I hate these word professional since we're not, professionals in what we're talking about. But I think it was very. Decorum was
What's
nice.
going on here?
No one.
Yeah, I think it went well too, because it at some point in time it had a chance to go left or go right.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, can y'all hear me?
Was all the rioting and stuff that was going on in California?
No, we had a guy come in
We had a
yesterday, a
guest
new
on
person
the
come on the
screen.
panel, and he wanted to discuss immigration in general. And like I always tell people, I said, you just can't isolate things that are ongoing today without looking at our history. And with history, you have to realize this is how we got to where we're at today. Is because of our history and decisions that have been made. And that's why I tell people, I say, it's not about feelings. It's not about your personal preference. It's about what governs our country. Our country is different than any other country on the planet.
Now,
And
was
that's
it
why we stand up for the things that we do stand up for.
was this on your show last night, Dre, or was it on your?
You had left already, TJ.
I'll have to watch the recap then.
Yeah, but a new guy came in and I just kept laughing, looking at the chat that Tim thought he was going to helicopter us or something and everything. But I feel it was a good
Well, I
discussion.
had my finger on the
It was
remove
a
button the
civil
whole time.
discussion, and that's all we can always do. Just be civil with each other and listen.
Well,
You
it's
know,
I
like
think
you
you
held.
might know because I saw somebody come in the chat yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, from
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston. That's
Boston.
what it was."
Yeah, JB. Yeah,
And
that's,
I clicked on his name just to make sure he was legit and all that stuff, and he did have quite a few subscribers on his channel. So
yeah. What as I did to this guy when they let him in, I went right to his page to see who he was, and the big alert to me was when he had a video about explaining flat Earth theory.
yeah, I thought that
I
was
was
good.
like, yeah, okay, I
Lord.
see
Terry
where we're at.
Pratchett rules. Yep.
Yeah. But like I said, no one tried to belittle anyone, and we just had a discussion.
Yeah, I think he handled himself quite well, even when he started smoking.
Yeah.
All right.
Flat
Is
Earth
my mic
theory,
working?
things you see when you're smoking that wacky
Yeah,
weed.
Justin, you're just a little muffled. So get whatever's in your mouth out of it. We might hear you better.
Justin's lost his internet. He's on his phone.
Yeah, he's on his phone. He doesn't have
Oh,
any.
he's on his phone? Well, that explains a lot. He got a big old bear paws for hands. He's probably covering the mic with the palm of his hand.
That's that cheap Scott what you call it? Android phone.
Samsung.
Well, yeah, I'm trying
You
to.
don't handle the disposable thumbs. You just got a big paw.
Go ahead, Justin. You were trying to say something?
No, I was just
burrito.
trying to figure out which mic I was on. You can't
You
set
sound
it
better
in the
now.
settings.
Okay, so you finished that burrito now. Now you can talk.
Hey, did y'all any of y'all watch Bob's show the other day, or watch his recap when he had Warren on there? Like half of his face was covered up, but then he
Dempsey.
pulled the sheet off and then
Old
pulled it
Falls.
back on.
Oh, okay. I thought he had all ladies on his show. Or what, the week before?
That was the week before when nothing could go right. Everything was going wrong. One couldn't talk, couldn't hear. And all he did was be Santa Claus. Ha, 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 the whole time.
Last Wednesday.
Mm, mm, mm.
It was Wednesday a week ago. I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off.
What was I doing?
I was watching the English one on at the same time.
Oh, let me go turn my timesheet in. Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay.
Well,
I was supposed to go fly with Johnny this morning. He called me up and said, "What time?" I said, "Are you looking outside?" He says, "It's good here." I said, "We're covered with rain."
Wow.
Wake up, Paul.
Well, I was trying. I was looking down here, but
You weren't. Your eyes were closed.
oh,
Your eyes were closed.
You think they're closed, but they're not closed. I'm just
go back and
down,
look
but
at it. You closed your eyes.
I can't read anything unless I have these hunkers on.
The honkers were on and your eyes were closed.
It took the Dacia in for its 2-year service today, and
Well, I was up at 4:30 this morning.
they've given us a Dacia
That's about what
Sprint
time I got up.
all-electric car.
Like five, maybe even five something. I got.
Oh, they
up.
gave you an all electric?
Yeah, as a loan car for the day while they did the service. It's got 180 miles on the clock.
Yeah, you'll probably use what, maybe 5 miles of that, 10 miles?
No, I mean it's got 180 miles since new on the clock. It's brand new.
Oh, you're talking about the speedometer, okay.
Yeah. Well, the
Or
odometer.
the odometer, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
driving home knocked it down from 100% to 95%.
Jonathan Jackson.
Oh, it's Jonathan. He's just in the chat. He's been
In
in
the chat, yep.
Yeah,
been in a while. Along with Jody and Joel and Brenda and Jim.
Warren's here. So where was that guy from?
Boston.
Boston.
Oh, he's from Boston. He didn't
Yeah.
have a heavy New England accent like Wedgenbig has.
I don't think he's originally from Boston.
Yeah.
Paul, look what I have.
Oh, he's got his cereal bowl.
Oh yeah, and we've got Steve Knowles is in the chat as
Hey,
well.
Dre, have you ever seen anybody eat a cereal bowl out of a great big salad bowl like he eats it?
Well,
That's,
Teach and I have that in common where it's not a salad bowl, it's a big giant mug.
A big giant bug, yeah.
It's an oversized mug.
Hold it up. So hold it up so we can see it.
I always use an oversized bowl.
Yeah.
I've always used a big salad bowl. What's not salad bowl? It was a Chinese serving bowl that I used to my cereal.
There you go, Mark. You start eating out of those, that's like a half a box.
Yeah.
Was that half a box, TJ?
I think so.
There you go.
Yeah, half a box, about 2 pints of milk. Yeah.
I remember in my teenage years going out to parties, coming home about midnight, 1 a.m. and hungry and all that kind of stuff. Break out one of those mixing bowls my mom had and break out a box of corn flakes and tear it up.
Yeah. And then down in the morning and go, "Where's all the milk gone?"
Yep.
I always use an oversized bowl just so that I don't have to worry about spilling over the sides. Because the cereals that float are annoying.
Yeah.
Jim wants to know how the meatloaf was, Paul.
It looked like Cocoa Pops.
It was really good.
But everything
finished it off last night.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Cheerios will do a fucking avalanche on the side of your bowl.
Dude, I love Cheerios.
Oh, wow, Jim. I didn't realize that it was going to be that big a trip.
Well, come on, Warren. You've been on a live stream. Get yourself into the panel on here.
I think he left already.
I don't know.
Morning, Jonathan.
Warren left.
We've still got 13 people looking. He might be in there somewhere.
And we got 14 people watching.
Missing day. Dominic missing this morning? Or he only comes on in the afternoons now?
It's about 1 a.m. for Dominic or something at the moment.
Yeah, he's
yeah, he normally doesn't come on morning shows unless he has having trouble sleeping.
Hang on.
Yeah. Okay.
Echo, what time is it in Melbourne?
Well, it's
I'm
10
gonna be
o'clock
like-
here, so
Oh, it's
it'd
only
be
10 to
11.
midnight. It's only
That'd be
10 to
like
midnight.
one something in the morning
Yeah.
right now, right?
No, 10 to midnight.
No, all you do is you look at your clock. If it's 10 o'clock, you add 2 hours, and then it's just either if it's daytime here, it's nighttime for them. If it's nighttime here, it's
You
daytime.
just ask Alexa what time it is somewhere.
I
It's
don't
much
need to. I
easier.
do it like
Yeah.
I do it in like 2 seconds.
Alarm clock's going off.
That's crime. That's funny.
That's quite a trip, Jim.
Jim's asking you how you enjoyed the meatloaf.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I told him, yes.
Yeah.
It was good.
Dude, we were just talking about that just a few minutes ago about Cracker Barrel and how good their food is. Oh my God, my favorite thing to get there is their country fried steak, man. That shit is awesome.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really, 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 really good. Especially with the white gravy on there. Oh man, so delicious. And then they got the hash browns, and I think there's like a couple. You can get a couple other sides with it too, and it is
There you go.
it is really so good.
They opened up that new Buc-ee's this morning, grand opening in Waveland, about 30 minutes from me.
Oh,
They were out there at 6 o'clock this morning, hauling fresh brisket on the board.
Hmm.
6 o'clock this morning, that place was packed. People said they were getting off their 12-hour night shifts going in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's why I said I wouldn't even try to go to Buc-ee's the first week or two.
I'm like, that don't even make any sense. I mean, Buc-ee's is an awesome place. I've been to, when I visit Texas, been to one stuff, but I'm not getting up at 1 in the morning because basically it's still a gas station. That's the primary function of it.
Yeah.
So
I've
I
never
don't need
been.
gas
I've
at 1 in
never
the
been
morning.
to Buc-ee's.
My
I wanna
ass is
go
getting
so
clean to
bad.
sleep
I
that
wanna
night.
go. They need
They
to
were
build
doing a
one.
newscast at 6 this morning in there.
Mm-mm.
They need to build one
I
close.
know the reporter. I
like-
texted her, I said, bring me back a brisket sandwich. I said, swing through Mandeville and drop it off. Shoot, a brisket sandwich at Buc-ee's right now is $12.99.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds expensive.
It is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Donald.
For a place that don't specialize in barbecue.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is one of those overhyped places.
That's
I've
what
never
it's
been in
called.
one, but
That's what they call it, Cracker Barrel. he's saying eating at a place called Cracker Barrel. It's like, that sounds racist. You really like the white gravy? I didn't name the
Who
place.
was asking about
It was,
Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, that was Don. He was like, that sounds.
Don
that
was
sounds
asking about
racist.
it?
Yeah, he was like eating at a place called Cracker Barrel. You only eat the white
You
gravy.
must not be.
It's not gravy unless
Not
it's
from
got
the
meat
US?
juices in it. It's white sauce.
Yeah, white sauce. Yeah.
White gravy. It's like Italians say red
Any
gravy.
girl you ask any girl you've ever been with what white sauce is, you're gonna go to a whole different.
I was gonna say something, Justin. I said, nah, we'll keep it clean for a little bit longer.
And then Justin went in the ditch.
Mhm.
And I had to come in like a wrecking ball. Prize, motherfuckers.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Hey, Dre, I'm gonna say this, don't take it wrong. But Cracker Barrel just had a whole bunch of oxymorons. They specialize in fried chicken and have white sauce.
I don't mind Cracker Barrel. They got pretty good breakfast.
Yeah.
And they're still selling their rocking chairs out front. You can actually buy those.
Their
Okay.
desserts are pretty good too. Like they have their peach cobbler, and then they have like
Good afternoon, didn't they?
they have like I think there's an apple cobbler too. That's pretty good.
Yeah, me and
They're
Sarah
not like
went
they
there
used to
a
be.
couple months ago.
I brought my son when his wife down before they left. Before they left, I brought him to Cracker Barrel one of the last days. And the woman, we got our meals and everything. She says, "Y'all want the biscuits and gravy?" And I looked at it and I said, "Let me ask you a question. Does it come with the meal?" Yes. I said, "So yes." You know, bring them out here. Yes. Well, some people don't want. I said, if it comes with the meal, I'm paying for them. Bring them out here and just bring me a box.
I've dropped off the car for a service.
Oh, right, okay, let me see if I can get you through to, is it an update?
Yeah.
It's mobility. Yeah.
Thank you. I haven't sent a message on their own site, but nobody's answered it. Like, well,
Yeah.
Like chat, well, that's not happening because that was sent one people.
No, it's all.
And where's Lance? Because he was here before, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't. I have used their app, but nobody's applied back to even the message that I've sent.
Right, okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's NC23 DXW. It is, yeah. It is. Yeah.
I think breakfast for dinner is like the best thing you could ever have, ever.
Okay, thank you.
Another bowl of cereal?
That's why a lot of our.
If you have that, or like biscuits and gravy, or maybe
But biscuits and gravy is not technically a breakfast meal. You can have biscuits and gravy,
True.
lunch and dinner.
yeah. And
That's
then
just
the
like
country
grits. You can have
fried
grits,
steak, that's
breakfast,
pretty
lunch,
good
and dinner.
too.
Yeah, a lot of our pubs and cafes and restaurants have what they call an all-day breakfast.
Well, what I was referring to, Mark, is that there are certain foods that are just not classified as a breakfast food. Biscuits and gravy is not really classified as a breakfast food, just like
Oh, yeah.
grits are not classified as a breakfast food, but majority of people will eat them for breakfast. But you can have grits and shrimp, grits and whatever else at any meal of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Grits and shrimp. That's pretty
That's
good.
another thing I like too.
Meal of the day.
I like shrimp and grits too. That's pretty good.
So like I say, it's just, there are just certain foods that just people just eat. Basically, it's what we call a regional, regional type food that people just eat it at any time, any meal that they desire.
Yeah. I am not sure that anything like meat and fish and stuff like that goes well in porridge.
Grits are just fucking disgusting. Oh.
Yeah, I love grits. Grits are great.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself.
We see now you cook, Joe. You make instant grits.
No, I don't make instant grits. That's one thing I do cook. If I'm cooking, if I got grits, I cooked them. I made them.
So
you
you do the same thing about it's not really good grits unless it's on the stove and not in the microwave.
Yeah, I'll do the microwave grits. No. I do proper grits.
Proper grits. Okay.
Scott's porridge.
Unlike proper tea goes in the microwave.
And how long does it take you to make your grits?
About 6 minutes.
And yet it takes the entire grit eating world 20 minutes.
Well, it's bullshit too.
So that you make porridge, it's got to be on the stove for at least an hour and a half.
It's
Do
bullshit.
the laws of physics cease to exist on your stove, Joe? Huh?
All I'm telling you there, Vinny, is this.
No, it takes 2 minutes.
I got a pot that I put a little more than a cup of water. I put 3 scoops of the grits in there, the quick grits. I turn it on high. I put about a teaspoon of salt, and I just stir it. I just let it sit there till the water starts to move. When the water starts to move, I've got a little whisk in there, and I just whisk it and just keep stirring it until it starts to thicken up and pop. When it starts to pop, I turn it down to 6 from 12. I stir it, and I'm making eggs at the same time and sausage at the same time. And I might have English muffins or something in there, but I'll be stirring it. And then what I'll do is when the first set of the eggs come off, so which is about 3 minutes, I got an individual skill. It takes about a minute to heat up, 2 minutes to make the eggs. As soon as I take that egg off, when I'm taking it off, I take the thing off of the heat and stir it and leave it sit on the side so it's still not heating up. I take that egg off, put another one on there, put it back on there, stir it till it's about a minute left on it. And we're talking about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes now. And I stir it up, put it on the side, let it sit there for another minute. And then when that second egg comes off, I put the grits on the plate and they're done. And that's cooked grits.
Hold on. Donald said he's just a fast cook, I guess. Are you sure about that 5 minutes, huh?
I'm positive about that 6 minutes. I'll film it one day and show you. You just got to make sure when that sucker starts popping and throwing that shit out on your hand, you take it off there real quick because it sticks.
Skyfly says he likes hot oatmeal with a little bit of honey on it.
Man, I don't like oatmeal.
Either that or put some brown sugar in there too.
I'm not a big fan of oatmeal, like Justin was saying.
Golden syrup porridge.
Oatmeal and brown sugar, that's a pretty good combination too.
Or even maple syrup's good in porridge.
Porridge.
Yeah, oatmeal.
The only time I ever heard it referred to porridge is when I read storybooks as a child.
Goldilocks and the Three. That was porridge. There's only you lot call it oatmeal.
And you have cream of wheat. That's pretty good. I like cream of wheat.
Yeah, cream
I
of
ain't had it
wheat.
in a long time, but
That's similar to grits, isn't it?
Cream of wheat?
Yeah.
I assume it's porridge with
Well,
wheat.
that's a northern version of grits, I think, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Probably.
but it's sweet though. I would say
Made with
it's
milk.
definitely more the consistency.
Made with milk and water, I would imagine.
It's not as coarse.
Kind of more like smooth than it is coarse, I guess.
That'll melt in your mouth. Grits stick in your teeth.
Yeah.
But you put some salt and pepper and some butter on the grits, and you have some eggs and sausage next to it, and you chop a sausage off and you mix it in with that grits and get some of that flavor in there. And Lord, that's a southern
Yeah,
breakfast.
did you see what Revolver said? Syrup with grits and a little salt was good. I don't know. I just don't like grits, dude. When I lived in North Carolina, when I first moved there, obviously I didn't grow up on them because I lived in California. But when I moved there, I had like at least 20, 30 people make me grits claiming that they made the best grits ever. And I hated every one of them. And the most annoying thing was every time I'd go to one of the little local restaurants, I'd say, please, no grits. Absolutely none. And they would always bring me a plate slathered with grits all over my shit.
Yeah,
Joe, this is
pissed
what's
me
better
off.
than grits right here.
Yeah.
Woof. It is. Woof.
You know something, Paul? I was texting Jim yesterday. I told him I ate half of a Boston cream yesterday, actually.
Oh, it's a word.
Because my cousin had donuts and bagels and it was kind of like a brunch kind of deal yesterday, and she had fruit. She had had this table. It had all this food on it, and there were cookies there, and like some brunch food and whatever, and
You think that could be because it was for a kid?
yeah, because my nephew. Well, I guess he's my nephew. I guess. But yeah, he likes that kind of stuff. He gets donuts like all the time. So like he's
Bro,
Your cousin's kid, I think it's your second cousin.
yeah, probably my second cousin. Yeah.
you know what's so funny is like everybody loves to have breakfast for dinner once in a while, right?
Yeah.
But nobody ever wakes up in the mornings like, I want some baked chicken and rice for breakfast. It's like
What?
nobody ever wants like dinner shit for breakfast. Like
What?
nobody's ever thinks, oh, let me make up a meatloaf for breakfast. Like
And meatloaf. Yeah.
Wrong with meatloaf
Yeah.
breakfast? It's just like sausage. I mean, you have
Sausage is good for breakfast.
leftover pizza for breakfast, don't you?
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah,
Pizza for
but
breakfast? Oh man.
like pizza's, I think, one of those great debates. Like, is it really dinner or could it be breakfast or is it a lunch item?
Well, the thing with pizza is it's always leftover pizza. Nobody orders a pizza at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Now I want to, Dre. Now I
I
want
know
to.
you want to, but ain't nobody making them. You ain't unless you're gonna go to the frozen food section and bring one home and put it in the oven.
Yeah, you go somewhere like the Philippines or the Seychelles, and breakfast is rice and fish.
Pizza
So
guy
is
showing up.
lunch and dinner.
Yeah, it's also lunch and dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, we need to order a pizza at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning while we're air frying that tea.
Yeah, and order it to be delivered.
And supper, come to think of it.
I mean, the closest thing you get to having a dinner for breakfast is chicken and waffles.
I don't like chicken and waffles. I tried it.
Dude,
I actually been to Roscoe.
Because they have the fair every year, and like we'll go sometimes, and they have chicken and waffles there, and that shit is
Like
awesome.
like Roscoe's. Like I've been there twice when I was living in California
But
with my stepbrother, and the chicken's really good. The waffles are really good. I just don't like them together.
Is that the pancake mix waffles or potato waffles?
It's the pancake mix waffles.
Mm.
Chicken and waffles is good if you got a place that can make some good chicken. But I'm talking about on the bone wings, not those chicken strip crap.
Yeah, I don't know if is Roscoe still open?
No, they closed the original one in Pasadena. I don't know why, because it was almost becoming like a icon.
Oh,
People
dude, it is
actually,
like
people that actually visit California just to make sure they go to the chicken and waffles, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Pasadena.
Yeah, I got some from there, and it was good stuff.
Yeah, I had it's been years ago since I've been there. That's why I was wondering if it's still open.
Yeah, this like I say, it's been a few other places that make it, but like I say, Roscoe's kind of put it on the map out here. And yeah, it's hard to match it up because you either get a place that makes decent waffles and like they try to cheap it out and give you chicken strips like IHOP does or Denny's and stuff. But like I said, you get some, they got those chickens on steroid, get those big ass wings on the bone. Yeah,
yeah, same here, Joel. Sometimes I don't eat breakfast till late.
Like, my thing is, if I don't eat breakfast by at least 9:30, I don't eat. It's like too close to lunch now. I'm like, screw it.
I bet that would be good though, a cheeseburger for breakfast.
Like I said, it's all food.
You get bacon
it's
and egg.
It's almost like getting a bag of the Crystal Chicks for breakfast.
Bacon and egg.
Well, like I said, it's not the same as like, when's the last time you woke up at like 7 o'clock in the morning? You're like, oh, what's that smell? And they're like, oh, I'm making cheeseburgers for breakfast. Nobody does that.
But that's like I was saying about pizza. I said, use this leftover pizza. Ain't nobody like, I
Yeah,
smell
right.
pizza.
They even have pizza, breakfast pizzas now.
Oh yeah, I think
It's
I
just- It's
The
just
little-
all the ingredients from biscuits and gravy. That's it.
I'll be back,
It
guys.
doesn't actually have pizza sauce. They use a gravy sauce.
Mm. I know they had
And it
those
has,
little bagel bites out a couple of years ago. They still got them out, I think. Bagel bites.
Bacon,
Yeah.
egg, black pudding, and mushroom on toasted bread as a
Y'all
sandwich.
gotta start changing the name of y'all food, Mark. Isn't every time I hear the term black pudding, it just does not. I can't even envision anything tasteful with the term.
Yeah, no.
It's a blood sausage.
That's even worse.
According, according to Joe, it's similar to a boudin sausage.
Like I said, I didn't say anything wrong with the food itself. I said the name of the food. I don't want nothing that says blood sausage on my plate.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never said
Wrong with
blood,
black pudding.
it's not a root.
Until-
The blood
until you've
sausage ain't a root.
tasted- Don't knock
What are you
it.
saying?
No, he's not saying that it would taste bad. He's just saying the name is off-putting.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is, but
But that's not like for you guys, it's normal. But when we hear
Yeah.
it, it's like,
I mean,
ugh.
if you get a black pudding in the Seychelles, it's got chilies in it as well. You like that, Joe?
No, I wouldn't.
You would.
I wouldn't eat it. Like I said, I go to Raceland and get blood boudin, where they make
Look,
it with the
I'm a-
blood and it comes
I'm a-
out blacker like that. Hey, hell no.
I'll
You
try
need a
anything
regular
once.
boudin with the rice and the spices and the pork and all that mixed together, but keep the blood out of it. You know? It's like liver. I don't want it either.
Yeah, liver's disgusting. Well, especially the smell.
Liver's
Somebody's cooking it.
on
Like
how you-
the combination of liver and onions. Ugh,
liver, bacon, and onion,
this sounds gross.
or even liver curry.
No, just the smell of liver when somebody's cooking it. Oh my god, dude, it freaks the house up.
No, I think the
You
worst.
gotta open all the. You gotta
to me, the
open the
worst thing to
windows just
smell
to
when you
let all,
cook it.
all the
Shit.
smell out there.
Is what,
Hey,
Joe?
Dre will
I mean,
tell you this.
Dre.
Chitlins. Joe know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No chitlins.
Chitlins will stink up a house quicker than anything
Li-
else.
Chicken
Boy,
livers,
that'll melt that. Boy, yeah, right.
chicken livers is chitlins, isn't it?
Got a shop.
No, chitlins is
Oh,
pig
God.
intestines.
Yeah, the intestines.
Oh, God.
The intestines.
Yes.
Well, we use them to put the sausage in.
Yeah, we developed from that. Now we just have a synthetic one.
Mhm.
They showed a reporter yesterday, a female reporter in LA, and they were
Uh-huh.
shooting rubber bullets. She got hit in the leg.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. She got clipped in the
She
leg.
goes, "Oh fuck!"
That is-
It was the reporter.
Yeah,
Oh,
reporter
yeah,
got
reporter.
shot.
Looks like the guy was shooting right at her too. He didn't like the way she looked or something.
Like I said, you're out there playing in fire. Don't get
It-
playing.
it-
Yeah,
Did
hey,
it leave like any welts or marks on her legs?
she had
Oh,
blue
it's gonna
jeans
leave
on.
a
I
mark.
guarantee she got a
When-
bruise.
Oh yeah, it leaves a mark.
She could have a well for a couple of days.
Like they always say, not that it don't hurt, it just less lethal
Windows.
Yeah.
rounds. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, but that's on the thing, but this is on the.
But Dre, you'll attest to this. I don't know if you like liver and onions,
No.
but when I was in the Marines at 29 pounds, we had Desert Shield going on.
Hmm.
And we're out in the middle working with all, because I worked with the subsistence side of the warehouse, subsistence, all the food coming in. And we were out there making sure everything was right, getting stuff in, seeing what needed to still get ordered emergency, like, because they were running out of stuff, and getting the MREs and everything else into them. And it was like the day before payday, so I was really short of money, and everything closes at 29 Palms back then. You know, when you get back, if it's past 7 o'clock at night, you ain't getting in to eat nothing unless you go to the mess hall and they leave it open for you, right? So we get back to the mess hall and we're hungry. I mean, starving. And it said if you want to take MRE, take one instead of go. If you just want to go back, I said no, I'm gonna go eat at the mess hall. So I left the MREs there. I get all the way back. We were 10 miles out. Get all the way back. Walk in there. All they got left is liver and onions.
Ooh.
And rice, liver, onions, and rice. I said, okay, do this. As soon as I walked in the place, I said, oh God, like this. I had nothing in the barracks. I walked in, I said, give me some rice, just put a touch of gravy on it, and put the liver and everything on the side, like this. I looked at that, I stirred that rice up, got it next to me, I put it down and went, shit, I can't eat that. I wound up going, I was hungry all night. I just went home, I went back. I said, the hell with this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Woke up that morning, first thing that morning, as soon as they had that chow open, I was in there.
Joe was in line like at Best Buy on Black Friday.
Yeah, I was in there before they opened.
Well,
actually, I didn't even have to put a uniform on. I went over there, went in, showed my ID, got my food, went back and changed.
Yeah.
Joe was cutting the line of everybody that was that was a lower rank than him.
You could do the liver
Do
fry.
you remember what year that was, Joe?
That was 1977.
Yeah.
You fry the liver for breakfast with
one
onions.
flashing stoplight town.
I missed it.
Yeah, we knew you were gonna miss it.
Probably in your pocket.
It's fairly fancy now, but back then, I remember when I first came to 29 Palms in '86, it was still a one flashing light town.
Yeah, I was there 77, 78.
Doubt 29 Palms is
I got there at
growing
the end of 76.
Mm.
End of 76, was there all of 77 and left in August of 78.
Yeah, I was there, got there in '86. Then I went to DI school in '89, got hurt, went up going to recruiter school, and then did 3 years recruiter duty, came back 29 Palms in '92 and got out January '93. No, they won't.
Yeah, I worked at DSSC there. That was a subsistence, and I walked in as a supply and purchasing. Walked in and I thought I was just gonna hit a warehouse somewhere, and they walked me into this. I'm looking it's like an office up there. I mean, all these desks, all these civilian people, and I was working with the subsistence side. They had all the clothing side and everything else they worked with, but they put me with Suzanne that did subsistence. Suzanne and all the GS 8s and 9s would sit up front and talk all day while we did all the work. And I got pissed one day. I really got pissed one day because she walked back and I was working because we had emergency stuff to do. I'm getting all this stuff done, She walks back, picks up my stuff, looks at it, she goes, yeah, it's good. Sit down, goes back and sits up. I walked up and I went in the captain's office and said, I need to go somewhere else. Can't do this no more. And he goes, Master Gunnery Sergeant Roach, that was his name. He said, chill. I said, I can't do this anymore. I said, because we're all working our tails off back there, and they sit up there and talk all day. Nobody tells them anything. And he says, we see what you're doing. We see what they're doing. And I had been there for maybe 3.5 months. He said, we see your effort. We see your production. We'll take care of you. Just chill like this. Yeah. And I went from PFC to sergeant in that time. So he did. He took care of me.
That's good.
He'd walk back there in the afternoon and look at me about 2 o'clock and after 3 o'clock. Captain Lawless was his name. And he'd come in and he'd say, you got all your work done? Yeah, go home. If something else comes in, she can do it. So that was nice.
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, what's up, fellas? Good morning.
Yeah,
Carry
put
on.
that
Finish it on
seatbelt
deck.
on there.
Gentlemen, good
You
morning.
had to find the cover.
We're
You
talking
gotta
about
find a
food this
cover. Yeah,
morning.
Department of the Navy. You salute with the covers on.
Yeah, I got a duty belt on, so I'm inside with a duty belt.
All right, very
I
well.
just took it off.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey,
I
how
had
you
to
doing,
beat Dre to
Jason?
that comment. I figured that you don't have a duty
Good,
belt on.
good. I heard a little bit of the conversation. I just finished over at the UPS store. I returned that coding book, Justin.
You returned it?
Yeah, it's a third. That
Oh,
was a
see-
second edition. There's like a third or fourth one out now, and some of the code that I plugged in was incorrect.
That can be a bit hurtful, but I do try.
Go
Well, I
figure,
didn't really
Who,
mean
who,
for
who
you
would have
to.
known?
Yeah, but the
who
thing
would've known?
was, I didn't really mean for you to buy that. I would just
You
put
know
it in the
better,
chat as a
Justin.
joke.
You give me a link, I'm probably gonna buy it.
So Justin led you astray.
Yeah,
How is that not surprising?
No, he was doing the coding one night, and I was joking around, so I put in Coding for Dummies book from Amazon, and he
So I
bought
bought
it.
Yeah, okay.
What else have I bought? That monitor?
You should have scanned all the pages. You would have had a free book.
Yeah, but it's useless though, because from a standpoint of at least the parts that I was using, when I plugged the code in, it was incorrect. You know?
Yeah, not always.
So I did get a newer edition book, kind of like I got a bigger monitor.
No
So,
experience. I'm going through.
but that's funny.
6 months
Yeah, you sent me a link, Justin. I don't know what it is. You're the tech guy, so I believe that you're
Yeah,
giving
you
me
believe
He
good
just
value.
auto purchased it.
illness is no cure.
That's how he'll purchase.
Well, you know, if it's recommended by Justin, you can believe it.
But I have good days, bad days.
That's the trend. That's the trend.
But Jason, does his recommendations help you?
Yes, they have.
It's just
Well, that's
basic.
odd because they never help
As a
Paul.
result of the 49-inch ultra wide monitor, right?
Yeah.
Which I returned. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what I got to do. I'll buy it, return it, and then upgrade
Basic.
from that, enhance it. So it's helped me in the sense of continuing to advance and move forward. Silver linings, right?
should-
Silver linings.
You see how much shit is plugged into his computer? Oh my god, I'm surprised he hasn't fried the damn thing.
Paul, you just ate another Boston cream?
Did what?
You just ate another Boston cream? You're licking your fingers.
Yeah.
Dang, so many red light runners
So-
over there.
No,
You
that's
didn't miss
that's-
the ship.
that's
You
the
ran to
fir-
get
that-
more Boston cream.
That's the first Boston cream.
Okay, that's where you went. You had to go
No,
buy
no,
some more.
no. I went to go catch a ship, but it was already going by.
Okay. You got 6 more Boston creams, guys.
You know, by the time I got down there, I was going to make a
Nice.
left-hand turn to go down under the bridge. Here's the damn pilot house is under the bridge already, going down. It's like, what the hell?
But because of my FND, it's a big headache for people. Because sometimes if I'm going for an operation,
DJ, what are you up to?
on stages.
I'm just chilling today. It's my day off, so I'm just chilling. I'm thinking about. Oh no, it's looking a little cloudy right now.
So is
Oh,
that
it's raining right now. Damn it. Son
No.
of a bitch.
yes.
There's Florida. That rain will be gone in an hour or two.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah, now TJ is just thinking about going out for breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
well,
wants to go get pizza.
Yeah, I just had my big giant bowl of cereal, so I'm good right now. I might go get a pizza here in a minute.
There you go.
My body is at the moment.
Nice.
Where's your favorite place to get pizza, TJ?
Oh man, it's funny because there's so many good pizza places. It's hard to figure out what the best, because you have places like Anthony's, and then you have
Anthony.
you have places like
Anthony's.
Yeah, Anthony's is so good. I love
Hey,
that place.
both
Then
the
you have
Anthony's, man. Anthony's.
you have Papa John's. You got
No.
what else?
Most
you
of the
got?
pizza places don't open until like 10 or 11 anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's only if you can't go in the back door. But see, Anthony Alexander goes back in the back door of Anthony's. Hey, what's up, boys? My pizza, my pizza.
He's got the mustache for it. He's just got to put that Luigi
That's
hat
it.
up.
Mario's here. Get the pizza.
It's me, Mario.
Anthony's got his own pizza shop. What are you talking about? He's the closet pizza owner, pizza shop owner.
Well, I know that he
doesn't want us to know.
he likes to
He
play.
doesn't want us to know.
He likes to make spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah.
Man, I need to go back and find that stream, man. I want to rewatch that. That shit was hilarious. I want to go back. I gotta find that. That shit was hilarious that day.
It's not just hilarious.
I got to deal with that.
It was pretty funny.
A lot of pain.
Pretty good.
You weren't there that day, Jason, were you?
No.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Like I was trying to make spaghetti and meatballs. She was, and my wife was away, and I was making spaghetti and meatballs. And Paul, Jonathan, Justin, I think you were there, Joe, and I think you were there too, Mark. But
I'm Donald.
Yeah, and Donald, and then
Donald,
everybody was
yeah.
telling me how to do the spaghetti and meatballs, and then I had this fucking CO2 cartridge from my soda stream sitting on the stove, and Jonathan's over there like, take that can off the stove, take that can off the stove.
Yep, we were all waiting for him to explode.
Oh God, that was hilarious. That was so funny. That was so funny.
And you never did report back. What did your wife think of your spaghetti and meatballs?
I think
Yeah,
I
and we told him
I think
that
I
the
ate them
only
all
way-
that day.
You
doesn't-
ate it all. She didn't get it. She didn't get any.
Yeah, because she doesn't really eat much. It's weird because I think they serve them lunch. They serve lunch at school. I think so. She eats at school, so she's never really hungry when she comes home.
So
Yeah,
you ate the whole thing. Okay.
We told him that the
Yeah.
only way to test spaghetti to see whether it's cooked is you take a piece of
you just
spaghetti out the pan and you throw it against the wall, and if
whatever.
it sticks, it's ready.
He had
Yeah.
he had a whole bunch of it against the wall there, Jason.
Do you cook regular spaghetti noodles or
Yeah.
angel hair?
No, I think it was the angel
No,
hair
they're
one
not
where you-
noodles,
where
it's
you-
spaghetti.
Where you break it
It's
and then you put it in
different.
the water and whatnot.
Noodles is normally made with rice flour. Spaghetti isn't.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
we're talking about. Talking about spaghetti. Okay, so you cook spaghetti or angel hair?
Angel hair is real small. He had regular spaghetti.
Yeah, that's probably it was regular.
Nice.
Angel hair is good too. I like angel hair pasta.
Yeah, if I had my choice, I'd pick angel hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I like that better.
I don't know.
Angel
I feel
hair
like-
is really good in shrimp Alfredo.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's heartier. You know, even though it's a thinner noodle, maybe you get a pound more on per bite, right? On the pork.
I've got a package of the regular spaghetti, and it's a really expensive Italian brand that's sitting in there. Those suckers about big around as a lead pencil.
Dang. Dang. For
Yeah, I'm
real?
telling you, you got to cook those suckers.
And they're
boy.
not hollow?
No. When you cook those things, they'll soften up real good, but you got to cook them for about 14 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. All right.
That's good when you make the real big meatballs and stuff.
Right on.
What it's really good in, you get 8x10 or 8x12. I think it's 8x10, and you layer them in there. You put a little sauce on the bottom. You lay them in on top of the sauce. Put some of the cheese, like mozzarella cheese, and put some ground meat in between, almost making like a lasagna with it. And you just
Hey.
alternate it, and that comes out real good because they
Mhm.
blend in with that real good. Because it's almost like a lasagna noodle, but it's individual.
Jason, what happened to your capture card. You get that working or what?
No.
Jim, I don't think Limburger cheese smells anywhere near as bad as Parmesan.
I didn't catch the last part of your stream, so I wasn't sure if you ever got it working.
Yeah, no, I got bored with it. I think you were right. I think you made a comment about the resolution from the 57-inch ultra wide. Even though I don't play the game in the full ultra wide, I still play. I shrink it down to what, 3840 by 2060 or 16 by 9, right?
No,
shrink it
that
down.
wasn't me that
So it's
said that. That was
effectively
somebody
in the middle.
That would have been somebody else that said
Oh,
that.
okay.
It wasn't
Maybe
me.
that was Sticks then.
No, the
It was-
one thing I told you was you were looking for the HDMI out, and all your
Oh, right,
ports
okay.
on your graphics card are all out. So that's why they're not labeled, as they're just always out.
Check, yeah. No, I caught that, so I just plugged it in, and when I turned off the 57-inch ultra wide monitor, I actually had a feed from the gaming PC to the laptop. So, yeah, it's the resolution.
Something with that
and-
monitor.
Yeah. So if I had a normal monitor, it probably would have worked, but because I've got that giant one, thanks again, it doesn't work. But
I'm wondering
I like
if
that giant
that.
monitor.
I was gonna say, I'm wondering if you do the PCIe slot one, if that has a different, if that one's
Plug
any
it into
different,
that
because there's one that you can buy from Elgato that plugs into a PCIe port on your motherboard. So
Yeah,
it's
I have one. Oh yeah, that's a good idea because I do use that. I use that one for a camera.
maybe try
Okay.
that one and see if it worked. I don't know what the difference between the two are, but there may be a difference between them. They may have, maybe that one can do it.
Right.
Who is Ocelot's revolver?
I might need to split.
Oh,
Split it. Come to think about it.
He's been in the
25 subs,
chat.
27 videos. Yeah, he was in the chat.
Yeah, he was being cool in the chat. He was talking about food with us.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him a couple times.
Oh, there
What?
goes TJ. Oh,
Who was that?
TJ was practicing his backwards dive.
The backwards
There you go.
Videos from
Nice.
different things,
It's the Cheerios working its way down through his
including Alaska.
intestines. You know, he's got to
Well,
move
it
it,
was-
around a little bit.
It was actually Cinnamon Toast Crunch is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't
Donald,
had Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a while.
Yeah, that's
Donald,
it's
if you're
good stuff.
still
I love that
watching-
cereal.
Donald, if you're still watching, Dre's putting a link in the chat for you. Because he hasn't been in the chat for a minute. So
Well, I still like Velveeta cheese, Joel. Velveeta cheese ain't too bad.
Been on since 2011, so yeah.
all right.
That's a funny. That's a funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like the Velveeta macaroni and cheese better
Yeah,
than
that's
the
pretty
old
good.
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, old school.
No, see, I don't like the old school. I like the Velveeta one, the shells and cheese. It's just creamier. It's better.
It seems like it's been around for a while too, though. Long while.
I've
agree
ever
with you, it's
seen,
good.
what the heck is, I don't think I've ever seen this, but what is Limburger cheese? What is that?
Cheese. Limburger. You know.
Yeah,
It's
flavor.
hard to explain, TJ.
It's a
Smells
flavor,
a lot.
TJ.
It's
cheese.
what?
It's
It's
flavored
just-
cheese.
no,
Flavored
it's
cheese.
it's just a smelly cheese.
Very smelly.
It's I'm not sure where it's from.
It's from Limburger.
I think it's Scandinavian, isn't it?
It's from Limburger.
Yeah, I think it is Scandinavian.
When it's Velveeta or when you're doing nachos or macaroni and cheese, you gotta use Velveeta. Actually, Walmart sells this pre-made nacho cheese that comes in a box, and it's kind of like the wine boxes with the bag inside the box. And it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You just warm it up. You just warm the bag of cheese up. And it's actually really good.
You don't buy the one in the jar, Justin?
I have, but we were making nachos one night for dinner, and I saw a box of nacho cheese that Walmart was selling and picked it up. It was a big old family size box.
See you later, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason
Jason,
did.
Jason dropped.
Jason left. Yep.
I can't remember the last time I had macaroni and cheese out of a box.
we always make it homemade when we do
Joe's muted himself.
like Thanksgiving and New Year's dinner and stuff, but normally we just eat Velveeta mac and
Yeah.
cheese.
If we having, I don't care what, if we having macaroni and cheese, it's homemade. We get
You
the
muted,
I'm
Joe.
still here, though.
three
Yeah, I hear
cheese
you.
blend, three cheese blend from the store, or the Mexican
Oh, yeah.
flavor. Throw it in there. We'll be good to go.
And it's raining pretty good out there now. I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon. I don't think so. I hope so, but I don't know.
Well, the only two types of storms you normally get in Florida is either it's all day long or it's only for a couple hours. So
Yeah.
we'll look on the radar and see what it says.
Well, I just got a notification from my app. It said rain's gonna be starting within 15 minutes when it's already started raining already. So
Yeah, but that could be pinging off some weather station that's in an area where it's not raining yet.
Yeah.
It's near you, but not right where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like 10 miles from you.
yeah. I mean it says mostly sunny today, so I don't know why. Yeah, maybe it could be. Well, it says 40% chance of storm, so
Yeah, it's most likely going to leave in a couple hours. You'll be all right. We got some clouds over us, but they're all broken up. No solid walls of them or anything.
yeah, rain starting within 15 minutes.
Oh, I do this fucking internet. Come on.
Yeah, I had to reset my router the other day, Justin. Some of my music streaming devices were acting a little funny, so after I checked all of them and checked the software, I went ahead and unplugged the router and let it reset.
And let everything get a fresh connection.
Yeah, 'cause I remember you said you do it every month, right?
I do it every couple of weeks. Yeah, you unplug it,
Yeah.
everything, and let it sit for about a couple minutes, and then I plug everything back in.
No, I can't let it sit for a couple of minutes. I'm lucky to get in a minute. A whole house erupts. What happened to the internet?
Oh, dude, like I said, my kids, dude, when the internet goes out, dude, they come out like fucking roaches out of their rooms.
Yeah.
And then they just pace in circles.
Mhm.
The fuck?
Like I said, I unplug it. I count to about 10 to 20, plug it back in. Hopefully most of the stuff they have has enough buffer in it that
Make
they'll
it-
keep others catch up.
Bon, you don't have to if you don't want.
No, it's all right.
What, £6 in, yeah.
Yeah, I unplugged mine this morning, plugged it back in, but it still isn't working. So they're
Yeah.
not showing an outage in our area and the bill's paid, so I don't know why the fuck it's out. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they
Mhm.
could be.
So,
I don't know.
but I need to do it, so.
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I gotta wait till 26 for Tesla to come out and fix one of my inverters.
Put £7 in a tray.
Mhm.
Be nice if they came out there and they're like, yeah, you need a whole new system. Let's go ahead and upgrade you for free.
I hope they do, dude. I'm like,
That's gotta wait.
I'd be ecstatic.
Mhm.
The sun's trying to peek out right now.
Yeah, Tim got a whole brand new setup for a Gen 3 setup from Starlink for free.
Yeah.
His went out and they sent him the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is.
Let's see, Paul's getting his sugar crash nap in.
No,
Contemplating.
contemplating.
That was that sugar. You know it was.
Yeah. Don't
I
worry,
gave you
Paul.
18
It
minutes, but
happens
you
to
got
me
up and
too.
left. I figured 18 minutes after you ate that Boston cream, you'd be fading up.
Yeah.
Watch, my internet's going to come on right after Paul ends the show.
What's that's right. You said you had an outage in your area.
I don't know. It's saying there's not an outage, but I don't know why it's not working.
You stopped tapping into
I
the
mean-
neighbors.
No, you know their internet cable. It's like it looks like a really heavy duty like construction extension cord, right? Like it's a big, huge, thick orange cable. Well, the guy when they first came and put it in for the neighbors, they asked us, "Do you mind if we run the cable through your backyard?" Yeah, no problem. Well, they ran the cable along the edge of the fence line on the ground. The guy came and buried it, but he did a really shitty job.
Mm-hmm.
And the cable just came right back up on the ground. And now you can see it all the way down the fence line.
Mm.
And we just don't mess with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the neighbor's internet.
Yeah, you don't really want to mess
I even-
because it's probably fiber optic, and you screw with that, you screwed.
Yeah, I don't even know how you tap into that. Like,
You really can't tap into fiber optic, not mid-line. You usually at a junctions where you got to do anything to it. There's
you
not
can
like a
walk over there
junction
and-
box out in the front yard or near the street.
it's out on the other side of the road.
Yeah,
It's a big
I'd say
front
might be
gate.
either side of the street or a couple houses down where the junction for the whole block is at. That's where you got to tap in at.
Yeah, you just go out there and shove a coax cable in the middle of the line.
I don't know
Maybe
about
this
all that.
will work.
If it's fiber optic, if everybody's on fiber optic on your block, yeah, fiber optic is real tricky and it's fragile. And
Shit,
very
these new cables they have
costly.
are really.
Wasn't that what Tim was getting, was fiber optic, and then like he switched over to Starlink or something like that?
No, he was on a different company that had satellite dishes that went to a like cell tower,
Hmm.
and they would point it at like a tower in his area, and it would get. But it was really shitty internet, and then he ended up going to Starlink.
Yeah, so like one of my first cable companies when we moved into our house 30 years ago. It's called Cross Country Wireless. And they had an antenna going your house and they point towards where the main dish was at in the southern position.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to first got our internet and cable. Actually, that's how we first got our cable like that. Yeah.
Paul must have went to
Yeah,
go
he's
take
a-
a something.
Yeah, he went to take
Yeah,
a
that's
nap.
a-
Told you that.
That's exactly what Tim's old internet was.
Yeah.
But he was getting like, fuck, on a good day, he'd get like 20 up and like 5 or 6 down.
Oh wow.
And then he was also, not only that, but he was sharing it with his landlord's house.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it would get really shitty.
Yeah.
That's why he went with the Starlink. He'd left them. I guess they still use the old internet.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay
Well,
for that,
they're
but then
probably
Tim
they're
does his
probably
own.
doing just fine now that he's off.
Oh yeah, because you gotta think too, they're not running a PC like Tim and everything. He said
Well,
they
that's what
don't
I'm
do any
saying.
of that stuff. So
Yeah, like I tell people, I said, don't think every device in your household is getting the full amount. It's splitting up that bandwidth amongst all the devices in your house: PC,
yeah.
phones, TVs, anything that's connected to the Wi-Fi. It is splitting up that amount of data that you're supposed to be getting. And that's why I said I had to, reset my router, and then I had the one music streamer in my office. I went ahead and had that connect Ethernet to take it off the Wi-Fi. But what has happened is music was starting to buffer and stuff. And I'm like, what's
Oh
going on
yeah.
here? I never had, buffering like that. So I was like, no, I got to reset this. I knew it was in the stream. I knew it was on the streamer's part or on the Wi-Fi part. But yeah, I reset the Wi-Fi in the house. Now it's streaming like it should. And I took the one streamer in my office and put it on the Ethernet. So even when I understood it when I play the high res files and stuff because it requires a lot more bandwidth and it'll buffer sometimes, but not when it's on the Ethernet.
Honestly, the best thing to do is just do how like Jason's house is. You wire your whole house with Ethernet, and then
Yeah.
whatever can be plugged in, you do plug in,
Mm-hmm.
and just leave whatever needs to run Wi-Fi. Leave that alone.
Yeah. I said if I ever have a house built, that's what I would do. That I would have wherever there's a wall outlet for power, it would also have data and have a data plug right there with it too.
And so you could just plug in anywhere. Yeah.
Yep. Plug in anything you need wherever there's an outlet. You can plug in either one for power or for data. Either one.
Yeah, and the USB socket as well.
Yeah, that too. Because I have some,
Yeah.
external ones like that have power and USB plugs, and it covers over the original plate.
You should actually have USB-C and USB.
Yeah,
That's the
all of
two
mine are
standards now.
USB-C. Yeah, I think all of mine are they're standard USB-A's. But usually the power, the
Well, I mean,
plug-in part of any cord you put in, USB-A, and then you might have the whatever you call it for Apple on one end, and then you got the regular C for the Android.
some reason I have a feeling USB-A is going to even get knocked out pretty soon because, like, all the power cords now that you're getting with a lot of devices now are all USB-C to USB-C. They're not even putting USB-A ends on
It's
them
supposed to
anymore.
be designed USB-C to USB-C is designed to carry more information faster.
Well, and then you got fast charging, all that other stuff that they use for it.
It
But
can
that's what I'm
handle
saying. It's like
charging.
they're not even putting those USB-A ports on cords hardly anymore.
Yeah, because I think it's on one of my external hard drives. It's USB-C to USB-C, and I had those USB-Cs on my motherboard, so that's how I connect those, so I get the maximum amount of transfer speed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if USB-A don't get phased out in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in 10 years it will be. Yeah. But it's so prevalent now, it's going to take it a decade or so to phase it out. Because it's about every device that you have will either have either one of those ports. I mean, TVs, laptops, they're either going to have the A or the C. The
Yeah,
micro.
because micro's gone.
Yeah, I say micro's pretty much shot out.
The only thing you're buying a micro USB cord for is if you got an old device you want to power on.
Hmm. And like I said, that's why the advantage of getting the one cords, the patch cords that have uh the micro and the C that you can put on top of it. But then you're limited to what the micro speed is. But that's the primary part of the cord.
Yeah, because the last 3 or 4 devices I got both had all of them didn't have any USB-As on the cords. And a couple of them I needed to plug into the computer. I only have 2 USB-Cs, so I ended up having to use an adapter.
What happened to David's fundraiser?
As far as I know, I guess from the issue yesterday, he canceled it.
Oh, okay. Because I know I'm seeing what Don put in the chat. That's why I was asking.
I tried to talk him out of it, but he wants to, it's his decision. So
Yeah. Well, Brenda said, "Don't give out her number." TJ.
Yeah.
yeah, don't send TJ nothing.
Is he as bad as Paul? My number
Now
is.
TJ just likes to show addresses on his unboxing videos.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I forget about that sometimes. It's like, oh, oops.
Like if you want to keep somebody's address, you just cut around the edge of it and then peel it off of the box.
Yeah. Did Brenda or Ed like help David with his fundraiser or something?
Well, a bunch of us did. A bunch of us donated to it. They're talking about because he's refunding everybody. I got my refund this morning.
Ain't too bad. We only gave 50 cents, Justin. You should have told him to forward that money to Matt so he can reimburse you for that postage.
I know, right? Still waiting on that.
He never sent me an invite for his little show on Friday. He said he was, and I said I never got it.
Yeah, I never got one either. When's the date again that they're getting married? When is that? Like October something?
29th, TJ.
Hey, how did you go from Matt to Laura's wedding?
I don't know. You know how TJ he jumps.
Maybe we're talking about two different things.
Yeah,
we were talking about Matt's show, Matt.
Oh.
No, I think I sent one to. They were a little late though because I didn't know who he sent links to. I think I sent one. Didn't I send one to you, Dre?
No, I never got one. I never got an invite. It was no big deal. I mean, you guys had enough folks coming to the show. We all had to see the Adrian pony show, so you know.
Oh yeah, dude, I had to dig through some old shit to find that. Like I had to go through Matt's Messenger from the past like 3 years from when he sent it to me, 3-4 years. And I was able to finally find it. I scrolled long enough and was able to find it in the media files.
Well, I said it was good to see Jim on again. You know, like I said, it's surprising. It's been what 3-4 years since he's been on.
It was 3 years and some couple months.
Yeah, 3 years.
What I figured out, yeah, because you go look at his last live show, it was 3 years ago, and that was, I think it hit 3 years a couple months ago.
Wow.
It was back in February or March.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, but it was good seeing him. Yeah, I think Ron.
Oh yeah, he's been messaging me on Facebook like crazy now.
Oh, is that right?
2 months ago, if I'd have messaged him, he wouldn't have answered my ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess just hear reports from others that he has reached out to. I guess he went through some things for a while there with him and his
Oh, yeah, yeah.
daughter, stuff like that. So
Punchy.
Yeah, and he hurt his shoulder too. I saw. I asked him. He said he slipped and fell, landed on his
is that
shoulder.
right?
That one. Hmm? No. No. No, single bar of crunchy.
Sean asked me last night because we were on Fortnite testing his computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ended up leaving last night because Sean asked me to come help him, and we were testing his computer on Fortnite, and he was asking about Jim. I said Jim still looks the same, just a couple years older, all gray hair.
Yeah, everything's all white hair. Mm-hmm.
Now Sean finally figured out, dude. His computer kept crashing and crashing every time he put it under load.
Uh-huh.
And he replaced the motherboard. He replaced
sorry.
There's a couple other things. He replaced, I think, the RAM, and then he ended up replacing the graphics card. And then he turns to find out it was a fucking power supply. He got pretty much replaced almost every component but the CPU, and then was like, "Well, I'll just change out the power supply too," and then now it's working fine. So something with the power supply was throwing off, wasn't regulating the voltage right.
I ain't say we call it level or size you had, because usually if you have a gaming rig, you want at least something 650, 700 above.
He had 1,000 in there.
1,000? Yeah, that was a
and then he went
power supply.
But it has a 10-year warranty, so he said he's going to still send it in. And then he just bought their platinum rated one. It's 80 plus platinum, and that was a 1,500 watt is what he replaced it with. That's a big boy too.
Yeah, that's ultra. I can say you can get by still with about an 800 easy. You know, if you're trying to skimp, you can get through with a 650 or a 700. I think mine's at 850 in mine, but I said if he had 1,000, yeah, that's a bad power supply unit.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get going. I'll see y'all later this evening.
But there's nothing out there that you know that he should even come close to, even with the brand new video cards. He shouldn't even be close with a 1,000.
Oh no, and like the 40 series cards actually use less power than the 30 series do. Yeah. And the 20 series. Like my 20 series was using, I think it was using like 180, 190. Mm-hmm. And the 40 series I have, the 4060, it uses like 40% less energy.
Right. I remember that was critical for me because I remember back in, when I was using dual cards, and that was a big issue, having enough power to run dual video cards. So now
I looked at some of those.
Yeah, now I'm just running a 3060, and it's fine. But that's why I learned about power supplies, about having enough power when you run those dual video cards.
Well, and his power supply now that thing is big enough it could probably run 3 mid-tier computers just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a lot of power.
It's a lot of power, man.
Mine's only a 750.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure with that much power, he is just barely scratching the surface on it. Because, like I said, there's very few games that push a video card to its maximum. Because, like I said, I always tell everybody, there's always different parts of the chain. You can have a video card that can be ultra everything, but your monitor, if your monitor is only at 1080p, guess what? You can have all your settings for 4K, but your monitor is restricting it. Because this only
it won't even let me up my resolution past 1080 because my monitor's 1080.
Right. That's why I tell people, I said, everything's got to be at that level for you to get the maximum, capabilities of your system. Everything's got to be there. Everything from the right type of RAM that's going to let you get everything out of the RAM, video cards, the monitor,
What's up,
which
Ray?
the monitor is always the last part of the chain that people forget to upgrade. So they think any monitor that's fairly new that takes HDMI, they think it's going to support 4K. I said, that's not the way it is. You actually got to find one that actually will support natively 4K. And like you're talking about Jason's, now is those the monitor he had, is it actually a monitor or is it a TV/monitor?
No, that's an actual monitor. That's the
Okay.
Samsung Odyssey G9. That's that's
Okay.
a
Now
legit
I'm
monitor.
surprised because I remember for a while that like on my two Dell ones, my 4K ones, they suggest using the DisplayPort pin instead of the HDMI pin.
Yeah, that's what I use on mine.
DisplayPort.
Because DisplayPort actually has a better
Yeah, it's supposed to be
resolution than
better
HDMI.
resolution, faster, whatever it is, sync time, all that kind of stuff. And that's why I was wondering. That's why I was going to ask him when he was in. I said, do you use the display port or just the HDMI port? Or does that monitor support that? So that was a big thing.
Well, I think his problem is that the industry really hasn't done a whole lot with like big widescreen monitors because it's really hard to get everything set for one of those.
Yeah.
Like through streaming software and all that, it's kind of a pain in the ass because it's such a high resolution.
Yeah.
And that's a 54-inch monitor or 56-inch?
What size you guys told me about? I thought it might have been the high 30s, low 40-inch. And you talking about it's a 50-inch? I'm like, jeez. That's as big as the TV I got in my office, dude.
Oh, and I'll find it. And you can look at it.
I could not see having something that large on my desk and only sitting no more than about 2 feet max from it.
There we go. Get the link.
I mean, you had no choice but to be turning your head every time you do something, just to see what's on each side of the screen.
I'm that busy, I might not be able to do it till tomorrow.
Yeah, there it is right there in the chat, right?
Oh, okay. $57-inch. Holy smokes. That's bigger than all the TVs in my house.
I couldn't remember if it was on the low 50s or the high 50s range on the size.
And
it's big, dude.
Like I said, it's a 240 hertz, one by display port 2.1. So he's using this. So that might be different there, the display port instead of using the HDMI port. Because it advertises as the display port being the primary port.
Well, he's using DisplayPort, but I think the Elgato uses HDMI. But he said once he turned off his big screen, the one you're looking at now, he said then he was getting a signal from both computers to it. So something with that screen is throwing it off.
He's running 2 computers to one screen?
Well, what he's trying to do is connect 2 different computers. So what you can do with the capture card is run like your streaming software off the laptop and then just run the game on your main computer so it doesn't eat up so much resources.
No.
And that's what he's trying to do. And the capture card allows you to connect both of them together. So they're independently running, but they're connected. So you can still control both of them.
I think $1,800.
It was a lot cheaper than that. I think it was around $1,400, but
Smoke.
about 6 months ago.
Mm, mm, mm.
And then they got a 47-inch, I think it is.
And is that the widescreen?
Yeah, that's the big widescreen one. Yeah, it's a big
It's
curved
the
screen
ultra
too.
wide screen.
So it's even wider than, because it's not as tall.
Yep.
Right, yeah, it's like super long and not very tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big, huge curved screen. But yeah, I don't know. Something's going on in between. That monitor's causing some kind of glitch or issue that he hasn't figured out yet.
And now they got a 49-inch for $799.
Yeah, the 49-inch was the one he originally got.
Mm.
And then he wanted the bigger one, and he ended up going with the bigger one. Because I was in the chat his chat one night, and he was talking about monitors, and I was like, "Oh, this is the one I would like to eventually get." And I was showing him the 49-inch one, and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh my god!" And he just like instantly fell in love with it, and he purchased it within like 2 minutes after looking at it. And then he got it, used it for like a week or so, and then he decided he wanted the bigger one, and he ended up getting that one. But that thing is so fucking huge that the feet on it, if you don't hang it on a mount and get it up off the desk, the feet will take up half the damn desk. Like,
Well, that's
it
what
was
I'm thinking. I
crazy.
should say that would take up half I would say 80% of the desk space. And like I said, I'm only sitting, I sit roughly about 2 feet from my screen. I could just imagine trying to sit 2 feet away from this screen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I turn my head just to click on the icons on the left side.
But he ended up hanging the monitor on a mount and getting rid of the stand, because the stand just takes up so much room. Like, it's fucking massive. The feet on that thing are huge. And it's a center mount too, so all the feet and everything are like right there in your face, you know.
Yep. I said, yeah. I'd say, I got the two 24-inch ones, and yeah, I kind of wish I could hang them on something or get one of those like the one here at the office. It's got a single footprint, but both monitors hang on. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I would like to get maybe one of those for my monitors at the house. And it has
That's what I got mine up on.
Yeah. A single base, but it hangs two monitors.
Yep, that's what I use. And I'll tell you why too. The reason why, one, I do like having them up off the table and not having the mounts on it, because it does free up desk space. But one of the biggest problems I found is these new monitors are so light that if you just bump your desk too hard, dude, the thing goes like wobbling like crazy.
Oh.
Like, my monitors are so fucking light, they're just paper light. I mean, there's nothing to them. I could throw those things 30 feet, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain Ray, things are definitely out of control in LA. I mean, I was watching a little bit last night, and the TV cameras, news people always showing the knuckleheads tagging stuff, and I'm thinking there was a building just to the south where all the people were gathering. I said, why did they just land a SWAT team on the roof of that building? It's about at least a 5 or 6 story high building. And I was just thinking, man, actually, just get a guy with a sniper rifle and a tranquilizer, and just the people who are doing illegal stuff, just trank them. And then tell them to radar down to the ground. Say, hey, you see a guy laying down such and such a location, go and pick him up. And people stop dropping like flies. Other folks like, oh, what the hell? Let me get out of here.
Yeah, go watch that video later of that reporter getting nailed with the rubber.
Yeah. But like I say, you're down there in the midst of the stuff.
It's like I was staying in them bean bags the other day. Those things ain't no joke.
Yeah, like I said, it's a less lethal weapon, but they gonna leave a mark. They're definitely gonna leave a mark. But like I tell a lot of people, originally, like a lot of these protests start off as legitimate protests, and then you get the knuckleheads that come out there and want to use an opportunity. I mean, I was watching last night; they were dragging barricades out in the street. Somehow they don't broke off some wrought iron fencing and put that in the middle of the street to keep the officers from approaching. And I'm like, and I said, you guys are just antagonizing the police. And then when they come up there, like I saw that one guy who was getting stamped on by the horses. I said, yeah, you kept your monkey ass out the way. You wouldn't be out there getting stepped on by them horses.
What happened to Paul, by the way?
He ate a donut. So I just put a listing for a stereo I have on Facebook Marketplace and got kicked off of Facebook.
Okay, Paul Jr.
Why? I sell shit on there all the time.
Did you change the price?
No, I just stuck it out there. It says we're verifying the content. Then it comes back and it says you need to verify your identity. So I did that and it says you're under appeal.
Oh, wow.
I did not do anything different. And I had one other one on there. I said, not sold here. It was sold, but not here. As soon as I clicked on that, it came right back and kicked me off of Facebook.
Oh, wow.
It's bullshit.
Well, Justin, you got another task. Find out why Joe's been banned.
Well,
What'd you
they'll
get
send me back
banned?
a
Hold on.
notice.
I was on the phone. I missed that. What happened?
Joe
No,
got banned off Facebook.
Yeah, I put a stereo on Facebook, put a price on it, verified everything was good, looked at it, and I said it's good. Went back and I looked at the other one I had that I sold already, the controller. I said I got rid of that. And a couple seconds later it said that my Facebook account's been banned. Now I put stuff on there all the time and sell it on there all the time.
The only thing you could do is appeal it.
Well, I did. They made me take a video picture, send it in. Oh, we got up to 48 hours. It's bullshit.
Whatever happened to Paul,
so that
he just never got
They told him he couldn't come back.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That sounds the same exact steps that they told Paul to do, and then they denied it.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know if Paul did the full process or what.
The
Because
only
Paul
thing I
said
did
he
in
took a
between
picture of himself, but I don't know if
is
he
the
did
ad that
actually
I
did or
put
not.
on Marketplace. I sent it to a couple of people I sent it to a person that I know that it was about real estate photography. And I sent it over to somebody I know that's doing realty work on their message. And then all of a sudden I'm kicked off.
Mm.
Yeah,
verify
the
me.
only that's the thing. That's what they did to Paul. But like I said, I don't know if Paul actually took the picture like he said he did. So he might have just got frustrated and just said, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Well, I sent the picture in.
So-
It's hell to get the picture. Got to put your face in a circle. You got to have enough lighting. I had the light on like this. I was doing this.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I don't
That's
know. I
my.
never.
That's all my accounts. The AI Press Nola, my USA Drone Fire, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something weird's going on there of why they're doing that. I guess they're trying to crack down on scammers, but obviously it's some kind of algorithm thing, and I don't know why it would have picked you of all people. Because you've been on Facebook a long time, you have history, you've sold
Yeah.
and bought things on there. Like you should have. I don't know. Maybe it's just an auto verification they're requiring everybody do now when you go to sell on it. I don't know.
Well, I tell
Maybe
you
that's
what.
something.
If they give it back to me, I'll never put shit on there again.
Because I have a feeling that you sold your stuff before Paul got kicked off, right? The last stuff
Yeah.
you sold on there. Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's something that they started right after you sold the last little bit of stuff you sold on there. Maybe everybody gets that. I don't know.
Well,
Ray Kelly
it's a pain
said
in the
he-
ass.
all his items go under review and within minutes they are posted.
That's because Ray's big time.
I know.
Yeah, mine have always gone straight on. You know? I've never had a problem.
Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's a little weird. But it sounds like the same exact steps they told Paul to do. So it's some type of verification shit. You must have done something that raised a red flag in their system.
I don't know what I did.
That's hard to say. And it might not be, most likely it wasn't anything you did intentionally.
Well, they need to let you explain what you were doing, not just take a picture and say, we'll let you know. And if it says, if it doesn't follow community standards, if we find it doesn't, it's permanent and you will not be able to appeal. That's bullshit. And then you go get support, right? Long wait, try again in an hour. You know, at least let somebody to talk to, you know? You know, say, what did I do that triggered this so I know not to ever do it again? You know, let me find out what I did.
Oh, I think the internet might be back on. No,
It sucks.
maybe.
That's gonna put a crimp in my style. Because like I said, I use it for a lot of things.
Like I can't get a hold of my bitches now.
No, I ain't worried about that.
You're on Facebook for sale. Kicked off.
No, I use it for business purposes, everything else.
Facebook.
Ain't much you can do to appeal it. I mean,
Mm.
all you can do.
Or kick your Facebook to ban you.
Yeah. You've
Stupid.
got to appeal against it.
So you can't put anything on your Facebook for sale.
Well, I don't know.
Or Bex does it.
They don't know why they did it.
Yeah, I wish they'd tell me why. What happened?
I mean, Paul didn't help his case by dropping the price about 10 minutes after he put it on, but
Yeah, I'll see, but I understood why they would have done it on Paul's, because remember David explained that. That if you had an account, if you weren't established for at least a couple of weeks, you shouldn't post things on Marketplace. And David was 100% correct about that, because what happened right after that happened, within a few hours, he got banned again.
Yeah, I've been with him. I can't even tell you how long it's been now. Been on Facebook at least since when it started.
Should I started mine back in 2009
yeah, some
or 10?
people profile it tells you when they join Facebook, but others it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a privacy setting that you can set.
I don't know. I can't find it anywhere.
Let me see here. Yeah. Oh, I joined back in 2007. Never mind.
It was probably 6 of whatever the year, right after they started.
I don't remember signing up that long ago. Jesus Christ. Next year will be 20 years. Or 2027. I was one of the first couple 100,000 people on MySpace. I remember signing up for that, and there was only a couple 100,000 people on there. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there was 100 and some million by the end of the year. Like when I first got on there, 90% of the people I knew weren't even on there. And then about a year later, they were up to 100 and some million users. Who's that trying to get in?
Ray, no.
Okay. Says Ray's iPhone. Nobody would claim to be on an iPhone. They were trolling. Did Dre freeze? Oh no, he's just in. No, he's looking at somebody like he want to whoop someone's ass, dude. He was in stare mode, like that dad look you get from your dad when you're in trouble. All right, they said the Frontier just called, said they said the internet should be back on here momentarily. So apparently
Can you
they're
guys hear me?
working on.
Oh no.
Yeah, we can hear you.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
It's doing all right.
Why are you all sideways?
Let's figure this out. I'm sideways? Oh Jesus. You kidding me?
There you go.
That's what?
Now you're right.
Now I'm
Now you're
right.
better. You're better now.
That's because I'm holding my phone straight up. You guys are playing with me.
No, you were sideways there for a second, but now you're straight up and down now.
Yeah, but usually if you turn it, it gives you the landscape view.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was
the
just
screen.
glitched out.
Depends on whether you've got the screen lock on or not.
If anybody wondering where Murray is, he's in a Boston Creams coma in his chair at the moment. He don't eat too many Boston Creams now. He's in a diabetic coma in his freaking chair.
He's okay? He's not okay?
No, yeah. No, he's fine. I was just joking around. Because he was mowing down a bunch of Boston Creams. Paul eats like a
Hey
fucking
Dre, how you doing,
14-year-old.
Dre? There's a delay. We got
Dre's
a big
muted.
delay going.
No. Mute the stream. Mute the stream.
No, I was
Unless
I
it's-
was watching another video on something else.
I think Ray's connected to his earbuds are connected to his computer, not his phone.
Hey, you guys
Because he's
good?
hearing.
No.
Oh, he might be listening to the YouTube feed.
Yeah, I think he's
All right,
just listening.
I'm shutting them down. You guys can just with me. I can't do the chat then.
Yeah.
I think he's hearing.
All right, nothing
computer
else is
audio.
on.
Okay.
All right, can you hear us now?
No good?
You hear us in real time now? Cap?
Yeah. Good.
All
right,
right.
good.
deal.
But now I don't understand why it's not going to landscape mode.
Yeah, that might be a Zoom thing.
Oh, okay.
No, it usually does it. If you swipe down from the top right-hand corner
On what, Mark?
on your phone, swipe
On the
down
phone,
from
the
the top.
iPhone?
Swipe from the top
Yeah.
right-hand corner.
I'll just leave. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
I just wanted to get on with the best dressed drone pilot in America.
Oh,
Oh,
Justin.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
No, there's a little button for locking the screen.
I know. But I'll find it later. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh,
But you know, somebody else was all dolled up, and I told them they were the second best drone pilot behind you, Dre. I forget who it was now. Stevie Bronx, I think. Yeah, Stevie Bronx.
Stevie be dressing. Yeah, Steve be taking some shots around town.
Yeah.
Yeah. He be dressing.
I do it the easy way. I put on the printed shirt that's got the suit printed on it.
Just you're
Yeah.
probably still in joggers.
I'm in shorts and a t-shirt.
Hey, Dre, I don't have a Long Beach patch, by the way.
Oh, you need a Long Beach patch?
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Oh, okay. Let me go in my closet. I'm sure I got a one with a Long Beach patch and probably a Fontana PD patch also.
Yeah, that's right. You were on Fontana PD too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I got-
which did you like better? Which department did you like better?
Oh, I like Long Beach a lot better. Like I said, it wasn't for the commute going into Long Beach and back home, I would never left Long Beach. I mean, it was
Yeah.
80 miles one way while I was commuting to Long
Did you
Beach.
have a take-home car?
No.
No.
It's all your own. And like I said, that's part of the reason why I lateral over to Fontana, wear and tear on vehicles, more wear and tear on me, because one of the guys I went to academy with who lived around the corner from me, and we were partners for a little while, and he ended up falling asleep behind the wheel and crashed in the back
Yeah.
of a vehicle on the way home.
Yeah.
And I said I don't want that happening to me at all.
I fell asleep a couple of times going off home after a shift.
Yeah. And
First one was in the Army. We used to do 12-hour shifts
yeah.
and dozed off and hit the guardrail. Thank God, just the guardrail.
Yeah. So that was always a concern for mine and my wife's, just traveling that distance, So it made things a little easier. Fontana became a little more toxic, I would say, internal wise. A lot more politics, which is surprising for a small department with only about, I think we had maybe, I know it's less than 50 officers compared to Long Beach, where we had over 600 officers.
Yeah, big change.
Yeah. So
And you were a sergeant, right?
well, once I left Fontana, I went up to the casino, one of the local Indian tribe casinos, and I was a sergeant up there. And
Oh, you did the tribal police thing?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. I was up there for
Yeah, I don't
about a
remember you
couple
ever
of years.
saying that.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't remember you ever saying that before.
Yeah, I worked. I was a sergeant up at the tribe. It used to be called Samuel, but now they're called Yamava. Up there in on the border between San Bernardino and Highland.
Lumo Nation PD.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lumi. John Carroll sent me this.
So
Look at that.
you didn't
Lights up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to be Indian to be a copter, huh?
No. Only
Oh, wow.
the high up positions because of the gambling. Any of the high up as far as gambling commissioners, stuff like that, were held by tribal members, and even some of them were not even allowed because they couldn't get their gambling license because a lot of them had questionable backgrounds.
Yeah.
So the ones that had clean backgrounds, they were able to be in some of the to get their gambling certification from the state. So
Oh, I wouldn't think that they would even need that. I thought like when they're on tribal land, they can pretty much do what they want.
well, with tribal land, you have a mixture of federal guidelines and state regulations. I mean, the gambling part is still regulatory by the state itself, but the federal, because they're considered to be on sovereignty land.
Right.
Like I say, they don't fall under federal guidelines particularly. It's kind of odd or hard to explain it because they're their own sovereign nation within a government that they a nation that they live under. So it's kind of tricky, but like I said, one of the biggest things to me when I worked up there is how they would be off the res, do something stupid, and they come flying up the hill to get back on the res and run from the sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department couldn't pursue it. Once they got past that gate, they had to ask us for assistance. And then it was tricky at that point because these are the people we work for, So it's like anything else. You can't go up there and just go bang on a tribal member's door and demand entry and all this kind of stuff, because next day you won't have a job.
Right.
Right.
You know, so everything has got to be played, very politics wise and everything else. And that's why I got out of it. I said, after that mess up there, I'm like, I am done. I am just done.
Yep. How many
Yeah.
years? How many years?
I did about 10 years altogether.
Yep.
10 years altogether. And like I said, if I would live close to Long Beach, if I lived in Corona, Anaheim Hills, or Phillips Ranch, Pomona, I probably would never left. It was just a commute. Love
Yeah.
working there, liked working in that city. Pre OJ, we did everything ourselves as officers on the street. I did
He
my own
said
rape
pre-OJ.
cases. That's what it is. Before OJ Simpson situation happened, I did my own rape cases. I did my own homicide cases. You did everything yourself,
Yeah.
and then you turn everything
Well,
over
why did OJ change that though? What was the
because of
significance
how
of
they screwed that investigation up so badly.
that?
Now,
Okay.
if you are a regular patrol officer, you roll up on a serious crime scene, they'll tell you just hold the scene until the
Yep.
detectives show up.
Calling the detectives and the
Yep.
experts.
You call
Oh
the
yeah,
detective.
because every time I see body cam footage and like they're doing a wellness check or something, they end up finding a body, they immediately will back out, call the detectives. They'll be like, all right, it's now a homicide scene, and then they'll back out of the house.
Right.
They won't touch nothing.
Yeah, my first year out of the academy, I did 8 homicides. My very first one was a night watchman down in the port of Long Beach, and I did the diagram with the scene.
You
Diagram
did
the
it?
scene. Yeah, did the whole diagram myself, and then my partner did that stuff. And it was a night watchman who had been stabbed to death, but it was so weird because car keys in his pocket still.
Yeah, but did you get the guy? That's the most important question.
5 years later, Cap.
Oh,
5
really?
years later, I got a subpoena on this guy, and they caught him on half a thumbprint on a business card.
Really? Wow.
That's how they tied it to the guy. And the guy ended up being a former employee of the facility there in the port.
Inside job.
And that's
Yeah.
what kind of happened. We don't know why he did it, but that's why we knew with the crimes like this, you expect the guy's vehicle was still out there, keys in his pocket, wallet in his pocket. So we knew it when the robbery gone bad type thing, because evidently it was somebody he was familiar with, because there was no struggle, but he had been stabbed to death and stuff.
Drugs. Probably drugs.
Well, not even older guy, older guy in his I guess late 60s was a watchman, and this guy was just a bitter employee, and I don't know what triggered him. And the next thing was that the little radio he had in the office where he was sitting at, it was turned to a rap R&B station, and this guy
Okay.
was an older white gentleman in his like late 60s. We like,
Who
this
found
doesn't
him?
add up. We thought it might have been a bad hooker deal.
Yeah, right. That's a possibility. Yeah.
You got one of them young hooker girls down there, and something went wrong, and she might
That's
have
a big
stabbed him.
port. That port, I didn't realize you guys covered the port, because don't they have their own PD?
They do have the we call the harbor police
Right.
department, but anything a homicide like that, we would be the investigating body. As far as that, the harbor police is basically there for the waterways and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Anything
But
that's on the solid
but I
ground.
know on the San Pedro side, they have the
San Pedro
port
side
port
may have.
police department.
I'm trying to think. San Pedro might be sheriffs.
No, it's a separate police department. I know that for a
I
fact.
don't remember dealing with any San Pedro the police department when I was there in the 90s. So I
No,
think
no.
because I know the sheriffs had
Right.
the next city over, which was Carson. Carson was done by the sheriffs.
Yep.
At the time, Compton was doing a transition of dissolving their department and had the sheriffs come in. So a lot of times in LA, the sheriffs are the ones that are actually working for those individual cities.
Yeah, right.
Contract and stuff. So yeah, it's I never encountered any San Pedro PD official.
No, it's
always
not
state-
San Pedro PD. It's the Port of Los Angeles PD.
Yeah, well, it might be Port of Los Angeles. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never. Yeah. So once you go across,
I almost applied for it.
Yeah.
But then I came to my senses.
Yeah, because I know we had that big old bridge. I can't think of the name of it that goes across from Long Beach into San Pedro. That big old large bridge and stuff.
But you remember they have the Fleet Week, Navy Fleet Week there.
Yeah.
So that's where I sort of found out about it. They were
Oh, okay.
hiring, they had applications and the LAPD was there. They had their own
Mhm.
booth too. The sheriff's department had their own booth.
Right. Right.
When
I've
were
been-
you in? I thought you were from New York, right? When were you trying to get on the LAPD?
Well, way back in the day, I applied in
Oh, just
before I
like
even
you were
got
applying
hired in
all
New
over the
York.
country?
But this is recently when I visited my son about 5 years ago. I went down to
Oh.
Navy Fleet Week.
See, Ray came out, Justin, saw that beautiful weather and says, you know what? This ain't too bad out here.
Hey, arresting nobody but in bikinis.
I
around here.
like Florida. You know that, Dre.
Like I say, you ain't got to worry about the rain showing up almost every other day.
Yeah. But
Now, I would say the best place to work, Cap, I would say in Southern California, if you can get the gig on Catalina Island.
yes, that would be good. Yeah.
That,
Yeah, they got well, that's the sheriff's substation.
yeah,
or
that's a
something.
sheriff. That's a sheriff
Yeah,
area
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Catalina
yeah.
Island. Yeah,
Right. You gotta know somebody to get that job.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm dropping off. I've got to go and
Okay, Mark.
Wait, Mark, I want you to confirm something before
We've
you
got to
go.
go.
Has he
we've
gone
got to
already?
go, we've got to go and pick up the car. Its service is finished.
Mark, I heard a rumor today.
Go
I'm
on.
not going to give up my sources. Are you, excuse me, are you and Laura maybe getting married soon or something?
No, David and Laura are getting married.
Oh, okay. I mixed it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 29th of October.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Laura's too much woman for Mark.
I'll see you guys later.
All right, Mark. Take care.
Have a good one.
Yeah, Laura and David
I'm
are
having
getting married.
trouble putting everybody on the screen together again.
Just swipe over on your screen.
On the iPhone?
Yeah, just swipe over on the screen.
Oh, on the screen. Really? Oh no. No, I'm gone completely. What the hell happened now?
I really like that goatee, little bit of beard you got going on there, Cap. Makes you look about 10, 15 years younger.
Oh, well, thanks. Not really. I look older.
Well, what I seen, you look a little younger there. Got a little pep in your step.
Well, there's Captain Joe now. I can see Captain Joe. He's ignoring us stuff.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm writing a letter to Facebook, so I got kicked off of Facebook.
What?
Yeah,
You mean
I put-
over
I-
the post?
I put
You tried
I put a listing in today to sell, for real estate photography, and then I went over to Keller Williams and sent a couple of the same thing to a couple of people I know at Keller Williams, and they suspend my account.
You're not on Facebook no more?
Well, right now I'm not.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you're
another-
probably in
another-
Facebook jail. I got put in jail a couple
Well, this
of
ain't
times.
jail. This is your account suspended. I had to send a picture, and I didn't even see. I was trying to see the picture, and it took the picture. I don't even know how good the picture was. So it didn't even give me a chance to fix it.
You notice, Trey, he said nothing about the nudes he uploaded to Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I've got like 10 pages out there that I use for different things. And I've been there over 20 years. I said, this is ridiculous. I said, if I did something, what did I do?
I know. They don't tell you, though. I tried. I
No,
tried
they
to
said
find
if
out.
they-
When they put me in jail, I tried to find out. You can't even contact them.
Yeah, well, I've got support at facebook.com. I'm going to send it there. And I'm sending a copy of everything. And I'm even sending them a copy of my driver's license. I'm going to take the number off.
Oh, don't give them too much information. Then
I'll send them
your account will get cloned like mine.
Oh, you got a point. I'm going to send them a picture from my driver's license that shows it's Louisiana driver's license. But I'm not going to give them much more. I'll take a picture of me or something.
You
You know,
know,
but
there's
it's
another
like-
guy on Facebook with my picture on it.
Yeah.
Well, there's two things that happen, and almost everybody's account will get cloned at some point, where there'll be friend requests in your friends, but it's not actually your account. Which people say all the time, "Oh, my Facebook account got hacked," and if you get a friend request from me, it's not me. And no, they didn't hack your account; they just copy your pictures. Because you
Yeah.
can go on anybody's profile and download their pictures.
Yes, I
It
know
allows you
can.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
So
screenshot
that's
them.
how they do it.
Take your pic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's aggravating. It really is. Because I use Messenger for everything.
Mm. I didn't even think about that part. You Messenger. That does
Yeah.
screw you.
I don't like. I'm old school. I like telephone calls and regular text. You know,
Yeah.
cell phone text.
Mm-hmm.
Some apps won't even let you take screenshots, like PayPal. If you try to screenshot anything, it'll say, nope, personal information.
Oh,
It won't
really?
let you
Okay.
screenshot it. Yeah, it'll just spit out a black screen picture.
I know that.
Yeah,
Justin,
some sites will actually block you.
you have host privileges?
Hold
Did
on.
Paul
Let me.
leave you or Joe with host privileges?
Actually, I don't know who's host. Let me see. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
I am
well,
host.
Okay, I'm about to step out. Hey, Ray, you have a good day, sir.
All
Joe,
right. Okay. Don't
That's
work too
all.
hard, Dre.
I try my best.
All right. Good talking to you. Good seeing you.
Later.
All right. I just
So
wanted
how
to
many
say hello for a few minutes myself. So,
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and shut it down. And guess what? My internet popped back on. What did I say?
Yeah.
oh, you
The
didn't
minute we go
have
to shut
internet?
the,
How were you doing it on the cell service?
yeah, I'm on my cell phone, but my internet went down for a little bit, and I said, "Watch, it's going to come back up right when we end Murray's show." And what happened?
How's the weather down there?
Right now it's in my area. It's a little partly cloudy. It's about 89. Feels like 100.
I was lucky the 3 days I was there this past week. It was well last weekend. It was nice. I had 3 days of nice weather. So
Well, see, you guys are always a little warmer than me because you're farther south, and then
yeah.
people that are up by like Jacksonville area, they tend to be about 6 or 7 degrees cooler sometimes, for the most part.
Where are you, Justin? I always thought you were by Orlando.
I'm in Polk County.
Yeah, Polk County. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right between Orlando,
Yeah,
Tampa
but are you
area.
in Winter Haven or Lakeland or where?
Winter Haven.
Yeah, okay. I got a good friend that lives in Winter Haven.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
winter.
you know any pond builders in Winter Haven?
Not offhand, no.
You know Lloyd the Pond Monster?
I've never heard of them though.
No, only the.
But I
if
mean,
you're-
our area is growing so freaking quick. It's insane.
Are they putting in a lot of
Like
developments there?
my city is. Oh, dude, Polk County is now the #1 fastest growing county now in the whole
you
U.S.
beat out Port St. Lucie? Really?
Yeah, they said that we were like #3 for the fastest, and then I think we jumped to the #1 spot. And it's just every empty piece of property is being bought up, housing development, apartment complexes, shopping centers. It's crazy. Like there's just, and the traffic is getting so heavy through our city. We're going to look like Orlando in a couple of years.
Yeah, really. Okay.
It's starting to look like Orlando. Like if you ever been in Winter Haven 10, 15 years ago and you
Yeah.
drive through it now, you'd be blown away.
That's about when I drove through it, about 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, if you come back
I
now
can't
and
see what
drive
it is.
through it, you'll be absolutely blown away, right? It looks like you're driving through Orlando now.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you're
it's
right up by
going like
I-4
crazy.
then, right? I-4?
Yeah, I-4 is probably about a 20-minute drive for me down 27.
Yeah, 27. Sebring, you close
Yeah.
to Sebring?
Sebring's a little bit of a drive, but not too far. I think it's about 40 minutes or so. Because we actually have a couple Sebring cops that live in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they park their patrol cars outside all
Oh,
the
you
time.
got to take them home? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I want to go to that 24 hours of Sebring one day. The race,
What
the race I'm talking about.
No, I never heard of it. What is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a big time, Indianapolis type race. Formula
I'm,
cars, like.
I haven't spent a lot of time in Sebring, but yeah, I didn't know if they did that.
Yeah. My friend, my neighbor, he's been going the past 2 years. So I was hoping he invites me next year when I'm down there. It's in March usually.
Honestly, there is so much stuff to do in Florida. Like, there's a lot of different things you can go. All bunches of cities have their own little. Like, I've always wanted to go to Tampa when they're doing the big pirate thing.
Oh, that would be a madhouse.
Oh, it looks like such fun though. You'll see just thousands of people walking around the city all dressed up like pirates.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool, no doubt about it. Yeah, it would be. Gasparilla
And then,
Days, I think it's called.
yeah, I think it's like a week long. I think. I
Yes,
don't know if it's just for a day. I think it's like a week long.
it
But then
is.
apparently they do mock up pirate battles out in the water and boats
Yes, I
and
heard
all
about
that.
that too. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. No doubt about it. Especially if John the Connecticut
Yeah,
Pirate goes.
yeah, I was Ubering down there,
There you go.
about 2-3 years ago during when they were doing that. And it just looked like people were having a lot of fun down there.
What were you doing?
I was doing some Ubering on the side.
Oh, Uber driver. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had
Okay. How
some
do you
lady
like
that
doing
was in
that?
the hospital. It was all right. The best night I ever had was $1,400 in 6 hours.
In one night? Wow, yeah, that's real good money.
Yeah, but that was also New Year's Eve, and I got a couple that needed to go from Legoland to Orlando, and that made me about $120 because the rates were a little higher that night. And then as soon as I got
Yeah,
into
the prime
Orlando, I
time.
got a ping. Yeah, I got a ping for Disney, and I was just picking these people up, and they were charging like Uber was charging these people like $200 just to go from Disney to their hotel, which was like 2-3 miles down the road.
That's
And
crazy.
the people were paying it, and I just kept going back and forth, and I picked up probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 families, and
Yeah.
just drove back and forth, and it took me about 4 hours at Disney, and then about an hour drive each way from Orlando. So yeah, in about a 6-7 hour period, I made $1,400 after all their fees and everything.
Yeah, that's good. The longest Uber drive I had, one time we got not stranded, but we got
And Paul's back.
diverted it and had to take a flight from Boston to Fort Myers Airport, and there were no rental cars available. It was a holiday, it was Christmas week. And we decided to take an Uber up to North Palm Beach or get a hotel for the night. And the rate was about the same. And I went with the Uber ride, $220.
Uber's really not bad, like just during a regular day. But yeah, if you're in like a time period where, like you said, there was no rental cars and everything, oh yeah, Uber's going to jack their rates up. Because that trip probably on a normal day would only cost you probably 60 or 70, you know,
But
maybe 100.
what I did after that is I stopped using Uber though, and I switched over to Lyft.
Well, and Lyft and Uber aren't bad too, just if you need to go a couple miles, because like taxi services, they want like a minimum 5 miles, they'll charge you. Where Uber, if you want to go a mile and a half, they'll charge you for the mile and a half. And they'll send somebody to come get you.
No, I know. I remember that. I had to go like 2 miles to get something to eat out in LA one time, my son's house. And they brought us right down to the restaurant. Came,
Yeah.
an hour later, they came and picked us back up.
Yeah, and taxis are so much more expensive, especially in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
They won't come get you. They want a minimum 5 miles
Oh,
before
okay,
they'll even
really?
come get you. Yeah, a lot of them will.
You didn't like doing it though?
No, it was all right, but it does put a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle,
Yes.
like with tires and brakes and oil changes. Like that shit does add up. Like I the people that are doing it with like Teslas, I think are the really smart ones because like the few people I know that have Teslas,
Yeah.
like I said, the only maintenance they've ever done on their cars in the 5, 7 years they've had them is brakes and tires. That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Because
I know.
there's no moving parts. There's really nothing to replace, except for your main battery if it takes a shit on you. But
My son and
those
his
things are
wife
rated for like 10
have 'em,
years or something.
and he finally just upgraded. He traded his in, and then he got one for his wife also. He
Well,
he
and
sw- he swears by Tesla.
and Teslas, I mean, they're rated for their batteries are rated for like up to 10 or 12 years or something like that.
And
And
you
most people don't keep a car that long anyway.
No, most people today they don't. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll get rid of a car, after about 4 or 5 years at the most.
And Tesla's coming out with a new car very soon. Well, in the near future, put it that way. The range of the batteries is going to be 524 miles.
Yeah, it's not bad because
That's not
that's the
bad.
thing is everybody complains, oh, I don't want to sit for hours charging a car. But these superchargers now, you pull up to them, you plug it in, it only takes about 20 minutes to charge up the car.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's about how long most people will spend in a gas station when they're stopping to get gas and some snacks if they're on the
And
road,
and if you stop at Buc-ee's, you spend an hour there.
Yeah, so I mean, it's nothing to plug the car in and wait 20 minutes. That's not a huge thing.
Yeah, they opened up that new Buc-ee's about 20 minutes, about 35 minutes from me today.
Oh, you got a new one? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Waveland, Mississippi.
Okay. Is that like closer to New Orleans or where?
That's if you go to Slidell, which is 17 miles from here,
Yeah.
going east, you go about another 12 miles, about 30 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, they were hollering fresh brisket on the bench today.
Yeah. Hey, if Justin didn't get a job up in North Carolina, he could have went to Buc-ee's and worked.
Yeah.
Now, I love Florida. I don't think I'll ever move out of here.
Yeah, I
mean,
love Florida. I like it the way I do it though.
I just
Snowbird.
like the peacefulness. I like the way that the state is ran. I like how professional law enforcement is around here. Like I just everything's just to me is about as perfect as it can get,
Yeah. All right. Now that it's just the three of us guys, maybe Justin, you could teach me how to get this thing to flip again. It just started doing this. I can't flip the screen on an
Okay,
iPhone.
so Mark said you swipe down from the top corner. I don't know because I'm not on iPhone. So I'm
Okay,
not
there it
entirely
is. I
sure.
swapped it down. And now I don't see anything. I see earbuds.
Now, from what I was under the understanding that Zoom, I don't think you
Oh,
can.
here it
I
is.
think
Maybe lock. There's something that says lock on it. Oh yeah. Orientation. I had it
Okay,
locked. All right,
there
there
you
we go. How's that?
go.
Did it
Yeah,
work?
now it's putting you sideways on our screen. I don't know why it's doing that.
There you go.
But how come I'm down in the corner? On my look at, I'm in the corner.
Oh, it's because you're on a phone, so it's trying to show you the other participants.
Okay.
Because it's kind of going on this basis like you don't really need to see yourself, so it's giving you
Yeah.
more prominent view of the other participants.
Now I could put the tripod down at least.
Where the hell Paul go? I need him to let my other account in, and nobody else's co-host.
But
Always going.
yeah. I
But
was
yeah,
just going to
I
start editing a video, but and I said, all right, I'll try one more time to get on with Paul.
but yeah, I like it here. I don't plan on moving anytime soon. I actually don't want to move out of the county I live in. I like the county.
Oh, that's a good county. I like it by the ocean myself, but that's a good county to live in. Well, eventually you're going to lose Grady Judd, though, as the sheriff.
I know, and I'm hoping he's mentoring somebody young to take his place.
Yeah,
Because I know he's getting older and it sucks, and I wish I
I
could
think I think he's
take
got
20
50
years
years
off
on
of him.
now. 50 years.
Well, yeah, he started as the sheriff's department was just a lone deputy,
Right. I know.
and then he goes unopposed every election. Well, the one guy did run this time for election, but he lost by a freaking huge margin.
Yeah.
I walked in there and I was reading the paper and or the voting pamphlet, and there was another name on there. And then Sarah got home and she goes, "Did you see that there was another person running for sheriff?" I said, "Yeah." So I couldn't even pronounce his name, but all I know is he ain't my fucking sheriff.
Was he from the department or
I
outside the
don't.
department?
I have no idea. It didn't specify. It just said that they were running with the name. It didn't. I didn't notice anything else about the person. I never looked into it. I can't even remember what the person's name is. I just know I didn't check his name. I said, I
Yeah.
like Grady, man. Grady's freaking bad.
Yeah, he was on this
Yeah.
morning. I don't watch it every day, but I get the notifications. His morning briefing.
Oh yeah. The morning coffee briefing he does.
Yeah.
He always has a different mug from somewhere else.
Yeah. But somebody got locked up. Some dirtbag probably got locked up.
Yeah, dude. He gets a lot of love around the world, but he gets a lot of hate too.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't like him. I know. Yep.
Like this one attorney, this defense attorney, he's got a YouTube video on YouTube of him talking. He was reacting to Grady Judd, and he's like, "This is the worst case of law enforcement that you could possibly have in the country. Worst example of law enforcement." I was like, "How is that bad?" I was like, "He gets the job done. Rarely anything ever slips through that sheriff's department's fingers, that department."
Right.
And I was like, and he's so transparent with the community.
Oh yeah. I
Like
mean,
he doesn't
he
care
tells
if
it
it's
like
his
it
own
is. He
officers.
does. Yeah.
He's
He's
like
great.
he's done plenty of times. One of his deputies does something, and he'll put him, nail their
He'll
ass
lock
to the
him up,
wall
and
in
obviously
front
he
of
has
everybody.
done that. But yeah, no, he's well respected. I've been a fan of his for at least 10 years when I first started doing some research about him.
But the thing is
Yep.
like, and then most of the people I hear that talk crap about him are usually ones that had run-ins with him.
Yeah, well, can't please everybody, that's for sure. I found that out.
I was actually down in Tampa one day, and I was talking to a motorcycle club, one of the, not the good clubs, one of the bad boy clubs,
not an outlaw gang.
the one percenters.
The
Yeah.
pagans.
And I was
the
talking to
banditos.
there was a group of them at the fast food place one day, and one of them asked me what I was doing because I was checking a gas meter back when I worked for the gas company, and they were asking me what I was doing. They were just kind of interested in the laser gun I was using. And I was talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, how far do you go?" And I was like, "Normally I'm not in Tampa." I said, "We're just helping out today with the other company out here." And he was like, "Oh, where are you normally at?" I said, "Polk County." He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Yeah, we try to not even drive through there."
Yeah. Well, they got a reputation, that's for sure.
Yeah, he said they actually try to avoid going through Polk County. They'll go around it if they have to.
Wow. Yep. Well, when I was in narcotics, believe it or not, buying drugs in my younger days, I contacted this one drug dealer. "Hey man, how you doing?" Good. And I had to do a buy for 700 Quaaludes.
Oh wow.
He says, "Where
That's
you want?"
80s right there.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Exactly. Because I went to narcotics in 1978. But I tell the guy, Gino, his name was Gino. I said, Gino, I live way out east, and I got to meet you somewhere. How about if I meet you at the White Castle in this town, Massapequa? He says, no way, man. That's in Suffolk County. Those narcs out there, they don't mess around. So I says, well,
Hold on, let me.
I'll meet you outside that county line. And we did the deal. And we got him. And I had to make sure it was within 300 feet of the line so we could prosecute him in Suffolk. But anyway. So,
Justin,
we got him.
Are you still with us, Justin?
I think he went and answered the door or something. I thought I heard a doorbell ring.
Well, he's got two things open.
Okay. But anyway, back to that story. One more little thing. The guy wrote a good guy letter about me for arresting him to the police commissioner and our search warrant when we hit his house.
Really?
He really appreciated how professional we were. We didn't let his kids know he was arrested or nothing like that. So how you doing, Paul?
Well, hanging in there.
Yeah.
Every day you get a little older.
Oh, I know that. Every day, another ache and pain.
Yep.
I only woke up 3 times last night in the middle of the night with pains.
Well, I get up 3 or 4 times a night just to go do a tinkle,
Yeah.
Oh, make me a co-host.
What?
Make me a co-host.
Okay.
You're a
We don't know who the
co-host?
second person is.
You're a co-host?
I'm not. I am now.
How do you know you're a co-host? I don't even know
You
how.
go down to participants and look at it. When you
Oh,
click
and
on it,
look
it'll
under
come up.
co-host. Oh.
That's me. I was switching to my computer.
Okay, that's just making sure. So
Oh,
I
I
wrote
see.
them a long letter and sent them a whole bunch of pictures, IDs, like the IDs I can give them with everything blacked out. Sent them my business cards and sent them all that shit. It's ridiculous. You heard what
They were
happened,
probably
Paul?
going to restore it tomorrow anyway, Joe.
Well, I'm just making sure, like I said, because Paul, remember you got locked out of Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I put an ad in there just now, and then I went over to Keller Williams' site and sent them a couple of messages, and they locked me out of Facebook.
Wow.
Did you
What
take a
did you
picture and
send in
send it in?
What did you send in Messenger?
Well, actually, it came up on the computer. It says, stare at it and hit the button, and it took my picture.
Was it a good picture?
Yeah.
See, I couldn't. I was having problems with the lighting, and all of a sudden it took the picture, and I said redo it, and it kept doing that, and then I don't even know what picture went in, so I don't even know if they got a good picture. They said if it's blurry, you'll be suspended.
Yeah.
Now that's bullshit, really.
Right.
That's why I sent them all the documents.
Once they get to that point, Joe, there isn't any dealing with them. They're going to suspend you under whatever reason they want.
Well, I said, like I said, I sent them. What I did is I put an ad in telling them with a picture of a house saying real estate drone photography like this, and I said if it's within a certain area, within 25 miles of this area, it starts at 250. I went down like this. Then I went the same thing exactly and put it in Keller Williams' message site that goes to all the agents, right? So I just put that in there, and then I knew another agent that's an agent for him. I sent it to her. And all of a sudden I get a thing up there, your account suspended.
Oh.
Wow.
What was the link you were sending links through Messenger?
No, I did not send a link. I made an ad, and I took the same ad. I copied and pasted what I put in there, stuck it in that, and stuck the picture again in hers, so she could see one and she could pass it on. I said, pass this on to everybody.
Do you think that she narked you out?
No, I took pictures of her kids in school.
No, that's something with Facebook. He triggered something with Facebook.
And that's what I told him. I said, I've been with y'all for over 20 years. I said, if I inadvertently or unwillingly did something, just let me know. I won't do it again. You know?
Well, that's the bad part about Facebook, Joe. The most frustrating part for me is there's nobody you can talk to.
You're right.
They got numbers, but they tell you go to meta/help. You go to that, and then it just tells you submit the
Well,
paper.
what
Then
you
it goes
can
back
do,
to the same
Paul,
place you
is
were.
you could put a contract out on the guy who hacks you. That's what I did.
That's the problem though, is like I said, you think with Google and Facebook, you know, they don't have any call centers.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
And Google had a call center. I don't know if it still exists, but they had one, but you would call them and they would just redirect you to go to the online, and they would just tell you how to do it online. They were like, "Oh, we can't actually access anybody's accounts or anything." What the fuck are you good for? You're just telling me what the website told me. I want somebody I can talk to can actually go on my account and fix it.
Right. Yep. If I have to abruptly leave, because a guy showed up. So
Okay, I just got a message. You ready for this?
yeah, let's hear
Your
this
account has
one.
been recovered.
There you go.
All right.
Well,
You're
tell
back
me what I
live.
freaking did.
So
You're
I don't
back
do it again,
live.
right?
They ain't gonna mess
They
with
left the
Captain
ad
Joe.
up.
They did.
Well,
They left the ad up.
So
Okay.
what happened, and what I guarantee happened, is the ad triggered something
Yes.
within, I guarantee, the scam part of their algorithm. And then when they overlooked it, when you put that appeal in, somebody actually looked at it, physically looked at it, and said, "Okay, he's just putting an ad up for his
Well,
business."
welcome to Monday morning. Somebody
Because
actually reviewed it.
if the ad hasn't
it
been
done?
removed, then they didn't have a problem with it. So,
Right.
if they felt like the ad was the problem, they would have removed it. So, you're good.
Yeah, it's like it's
I-
ridiculous.
I think your ad just triggered something within the scam part of their algorithm that's for
Well,
It
scammers.
says,
They
thank you for
probably
taking the
figured out
time
you
and
were a
letting us know.
scammer, Joe.
But the problem is there's so much scammy shit on Facebook as it is. It's like, dude, they outright let these Chinese companies go on there and put ads up where they're clearly stealing footage from other companies to sell a cheap product. And YouTube and Facebook allows it.
Okay.
Like you'll see, you know, a little cheapy, like take, for example, we've all seen these, the little cheapy drones. And they're outright using DJI ads on their advertisement
Yeah.
to sell the drones.
Well, all I know is I ain't putting shit on Marketplace anymore. No, you see, know what it was? I know
do
what it
well
was.
with Marketplace, though. Not well. Don't misunderstand me, but I can get rid of stuff rather than,
I know what it
donate
was.
it.
I put that radio on
Hey,
it,
I got
then I
it to
turned
work.
around and put that other one on it, two of them. So two of them triggered it. I guarantee that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, you're very busy anyway, Joe. You're still
need to
looking
be
for
busy.
more work, though, huh?
Well, I need to be busy right now because I don't start making money for another 3 weeks.
This is Kelsey's.
So I gotta,
okay.
I've got some bills to cover in,
I ain't getting
in
put up
July
for it.
that I gotta do a couple of real estate shoots for. Or I'm gonna be tight because of my daughter.
Well, tell Johnny. He'll have you start to dig graves.
Hey, never know.
So what does Johnny actually do there? Does he just maintain the graveyard?
Does
make
he
sure it's
run
clean?
the cemetery or what?
Yeah, he's the manager. Yeah.
Yeah, he basically writes the paperwork, gets his percentage off of that,
What's up,
goes
Corey?
and cleans it up, with an air blower, and then flies his drones around the dead people. They don't bother.
No complaints. No complaints there.
Dude, that
No.
one grave site was crazy. The one that family bought up like 30 plots for one person's grave.
Where was that?
It's that one. It's that Chinese grave site that's in Johnny's cemetery.
Hello,
Oh, I don't
Corey.
know.
The family bought up like 30 some plots just to make this big old memorial for their mom.
Oh, really?
Hey, Corey, what's up?
It's really nice too. But the amount of money they spent, I was like, woo. Just to bury one person.
Yeah. My yeah, I know. But my brother-in-law was on the board of a cemetery up in Massachusetts. And I saw some of the dealings that went on. And even his family, my wife's family, they bought up quite a few plots in the cemetery. They got one for me too.
Yeah, you got like the family plots, yeah. Or they'll do that, like, or they'll build a mausoleum and they'll have enough room for like 10 caskets or something.
Yes.
Now, does Johnny get any of the money like when they buy markers for the lots?
Yep. Yeah, when they buy a plot, he makes money.
No, but I mean, what you know how they have the grave markers? They're usually made
Those
out
are
of.
usually private
But that's something
other
else. That's
companies.
another company.
I
Yeah.
thought maybe they would give a stiff back or something.
Well, he might. I don't know. He never told me. Oh, I got
Well,
a phone call.
most of the time, those are other private companies
What's up?
that make those.
I'm back in my truck.
Well,
I
now
know
I
a
know
lot-
why I couldn't find your channel before on the computer. I was spelling your name wrong, Paul.
I watched a video on the places that make those gravestones, and they're using the water jets to cut the
Yeah,
stones.
to carve it.
Yeah. Now I just have to it's like a CNC machine. They just put the design in there and they center the stone up and away it goes.
I mean, they're pretty. There's no doubt about it. They're not cheap.
No.
And it's in the Jewish religion, you actually don't do a grave marker your first year that you're buried.
Oh no, oh,
No,
I didn't know that.
they always wait 1 year after you die and then they put a gravestone up. That's the tradition with them. And I'm sure not all Jewish people
Are you
follow
Jewish?
that,
Are you Jewish?
No.
Oh,
I just
you
watch
know.
I watch a lot of those graveyard channels that go and like look at different graveyards and stuff.
Yeah. You followed a guy who oh, I forget his channel now, but he used to highlight all the graveyards in the country. He'd go around and tell you all about them. But well, I'm glad you restored it. Is it live now, Joe? You want me to check, or did you check? Up, I lost your audio. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Joe's on mute.
Yeah.
You see his picture down in the corner there? It's got a red.
No. All I see is you, Joe, and me on the screen, and I'm on the lower right.
Okay. Well, in the corner, it's got his name, and it's got a microphone, and it's red.
All right. Let me see if I can figure that out again. Go over there. That's you by yourself, Paul.
Lower left-hand corner of his box. Now, Ray, you went.
Oh, his
mute.
box.
Now you're back.
His box.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I see it. The red means he's
Yep.
muted. Okay.
He's muted. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Because like here, I'm gonna go ahead and mute mine.
Yep. There you go.
Unmute.
Yeah.
Because he was on the phone. I don't know who he was talking to, but
Yeah, I just had a phone call too. That's up real quick.
All right.
Justin's off now until what, the second or third week of August?
Yeah.
You on vacation?
No,
Yeah, summer.
there's no school, no bus runs.
Are you a bus driver, Justin?
No, I'm a bus monitor.
He's a bus monitor. He's in the back with the kiddies.
Oh,
I
okay.
keep an eye on I do like all the special needs kids, and then I keep an eye on the kids, make sure they don't get out of control.
Yeah.
They're kind of
okay.
like
How long you been doing that?
for almost a year now.
For some reason, I thought you were an IT guy. You worked in an IT company or something.
No, that's just stuff I do on the side. No, no, I just do my own stuff on the side, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
The kids got used to him. It took a while though, Ray, because he's a great big guy, and usually they see a little old grandma back there. You know?
Yeah, right. My
I would imagine, Justin, you just got to look at them cross-eyed, and they don't like it, right?
The kids, I don't have a problem with the kids on my bus. Like I said, half the kids I had were all advanced, like kids that were ahead of their peers. You know, they're in these like advanced courses and classes and programs.
So in,
these,
in other words, like when you say advanced, is like a sixth grader is going in the eighth grade, or
no, it's like a ninth or 10th grader that's doing college classes in high school.
okay.
Like they're a lot farther ahead of their peers. So they get into these special programs, and those kids don't care about socializing at school. They're there to do their damn work. That's all they care about. Like I said, half my students are those kids. So those kids sit and do their homework on the bus. They don't bother anybody. They're going to school to learn, not to socialize.
You got to have a lot of patience to deal with the special needs kids. Some of them, you know.
Oh yeah. I don't have any real bad ones on my bus. Like mine, the one I only really have a couple of kids that are a little hyper, but they're not bad with me. And then I got one wheelchair student, which he's fine. You can talk to him and everything. He's completely coherent. He just can't walk. So
Now, what do? You have a lift on the bus for that?
yeah, we have a wheelchair ramp that comes out the side of the bus, lifts them up to it.
Yep. Yeah. So
No,
you get like a morning run and then an afternoon run, or how's it work when you're
yeah,
working?
you do two morning runs, and then you usually get back about 8:30 in the morning. And then you go back around 12 and you have two more runs. So you
Yeah,
get like a
right.
3-4 hour lunch break, I guess, if you want to call it that. So it's enough time to come home, eat, take a nap if you want. You
Yep.
know, and then head back. It does make for really long days because your shifts are split. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's got good benefits. Like all our health care is free. We don't pay for any of
Oh,
that.
is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can pretty much take off anytime you want. They don't really
Oh, you
care if
can?
yeah, they don't really have an attendance policy. It's just up to your area manager. So
Oh,
you
wow.
can, if you need to call in because you got to go somewhere or do something last minute, they don't say anything to you.
Yeah. That's good then.
Yeah, it's
When you got a
county. It's all through the
flexible
county.
schedule. Yeah.
But
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to.
they're out
that
for the
email they
summer.
sent me said they're sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh,
Just
you
be
you
lucky.
talked to somebody?
No, they sent me an email. It said that your account's been restored. We're sorry for any inconvenience it may have caused.
Blah
Thank
blah
you for
blah.
verifying
Tell me you
yourself.
lost at least a $10,000 job.
I'm telling you, at least 10,000. And then Justin just called me. He said he's coming over to hang out before about an hour. He's bringing all the
Justin
stuff
is
and
his
he's
son.
leaving with me
Oh, you're
on the
gonna leave?
storage unit. Yeah, just some boxes. Like he's not going to bring his pots and pans and stuff like that because he don't need them up there right now. He said I'll come
Because
get them when I get
his son
eventually.
Justin is moving up to where his other brother
Yeah,
lives.
Right.
North Carolina.
Yeah. New Bern.
Yeah, he's
New Bern.
leaving New Bern, North Carolina. He's leaving actually Friday.
I did one boat ride on the New Bern River there. My cousin, listen to this story. My cousin ends up retiring
Uh-huh.
and she leaves her job at a school district. She retires. Boom. My other cousin, well, her husband, cousin-in-law, he was on the police department with me. No, I'm sorry. She took a leave of absence. The wife took the leave of absence for a year. We don't do that on the Suffolk Police. You got to retire. You want to go away for a year, you got to retire. So he retired. They had a custom home built on the New Bern River. Beautiful, beautiful home. After 6 months, she hated it.
Wow.
Oh, she didn't like it.
Nah, she didn't like it. And the guy had his boat in the backyard, my cousin. And we went and visited him one time, stayed with him. He took us for a boat ride down there, the river. And after 6 months, she kept hounding him. I got to go back to Long Island. I got to go back.
She didn't like the country life.
And they sold the house. Believe it or not, we moved right back to the same town that we live in, Shoreham. Yeah. But he didn't have a job. But she went back to her job. Yeah.
Some people like the city life better.
But nah, we're not city out here, Justin. Where I live here,
Uh-huh.
it's much less populated than where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yep.
don't you think it is a case of you're more familiar with a certain area, and that's why you want to go back there?
Yeah, but
Friends,
what it was
family, that
the
kind of
kids.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
was her kids.
Yeah.
The one kid stayed in Long Island. The other kid had moved to Florida. No, I'm sorry. They were both on Long Island. They moved back, and both children, they're on their own. They were adults.
Yeah.
But then the one daughter, 2 or 3 years later, her husband became a cop in Cape Coral, Florida. So they moved there. And then my cousin finally said, "That's it. We're selling. We're going to Cape Coral, Florida." So, and then the
Yeah.
son ended up following. He became a Lee County deputy sheriff.
Wow.
Everything
Well, I'm hoping
happens
this
for a
works
reason.
out. I'm hoping this works out for him.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah. But he's got the experience, so he should do well.
Yeah, he should be able to get some type of job. If somehow I don't see a way he's not going to
If
get the
he
job.
if he can't get a cop job somewhere, there's something drastically wrong.
Oh, there's something definitely wrong, because if South Slidell did it because of the 3 little miscellaneous accidents, that's bullshit.
Well, I didn't send it to you, but I sent it to Brad. Oh, I don't have it now. But Customs and Border Patrol is offering a $30,000 hiring bonus.
Hiring bonus. Yep.
Oh man, I'm going to tell him.
Yep.
Yep. And they love to hire ex-police officers
Yes, you're absolutely right.
because
you
you
know
have
about
the
that.
experience to handle people, and you can hit the ground running.
Hey, Cameron, the best thing I used to get to see the body cams, right? So he's in here and he's showing me a body cam, and it's up at one of the restaurants, and they've got the guy up there talking to the guy, and he's getting kind of fidgety, and the girl standing next to the car, she's looking at him, and she's getting kind of fidgety, and there's 3 officers there, the 2 people, right? So the guys with 2 of the other guys, bigger than Justin, okay, and the guy takes off. And right before he took off, Justin looked at the girl and said, "Turn around, put your hands behind your back." She goes, "Why are you putting cuffs?" And that's when the guy took off. He said, "Because I'm not running after you."
Yep.
He put the cuffs on. He said, "I'll take them off when they get them back, but I'm not running after you." Just like that, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
When is he leaving,
I go
Joe?
get the 30,000 signing bonus.
Friday evening. He's gonna leave,
Yeah.
or Friday sometime.
Okay.
But he the best that ever happened was the one that he clicked his body cam on. There was up in the 30s. They had a report that there was going to be some shooting that night. A couple of the gangs up there,
Mm-hmm.
and because there's a couple of rival gangs up there. So one of the main guys is walking down the street talking to his buddies, and Justin sees him and pulls over about 20 feet from him, and rolls down his window and hollers at him, and he calls him by the hood name. He said, "I need to see you over here. Come over here." And he said, "I don't have to come to you. I didn't do anything." And give him all kind of crap. So Justin flicked his lights and then gave him his proper name, right? He says, I need to see you over here. And he got out the car. He said, come over here right now. Like this. So the guy goes, like, oh man, this guy harassing me and all this. Gets over there and he's got the body cam running, right? And the guy says, man, why you call me over here with my two friends, man? They're gonna think I'm a niche. Snitch, like this. And he says, I heard they're gonna have some shooting tonight. He says, hell no, y'all around, y'all patrolling right now, y'all, we're not gonna do it. Just like that. And he says, okay, that's
Yeah.
all I wanted to know. Like that. He says, that's all I wanted to know. And he said, I'm gonna give you some shit. He said, give me some shit. And he started mouthing off to Justin. He said, you better quit doing that, or I'll lock you up. Oh, the guy walked off mouthing off to him, you know.
Oh, that's good. He knew how to talk to him, and
Yeah,
build a
but that's how
rapport.
he had.
And he knew how he could cover his ass with his friends. Yep.
Yeah, and the other part was one of the guys he arrested was sitting in the back and said, "Yeah, I see that. You got to see the new one I made."
Oh yeah.
It
Oh,
says
that's
107, and it says established 2022. When you flip it to the other side,
These are
it says
cool, Joe.
it says pilot. It's got YouTube, and it's got the Avada with the goggles, everything in the back. It says Captain Joe.
That's
But
nice.
but he arrested a guy, and the guy was a barber. And he says, "Man, who does your hair? That's a good job. I could do better than that though." And he told him who does it. He says, "Yeah, you're paying too much." He said, "I tell you what, I'll tell you what my shop's at. Anytime you need a haircut, just come get it." So he went over there about 2 weeks later to the shop. The guy he arrested, right, sitting in a chair, comes in. Two other guys he arrested walked in and said, "Why is he in here?" He said, "Shut up. He's my friend." He said, "He's here getting a haircut. He treated me nice when he arrested me." He said, "Oh, nobody give him shit, or you won't come back either." So he said he used to go over there and get haircuts all the time.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot too. That
Yeah.
you arrest somebody, then go and get your hair cut. Bye.
And then they had a girl. A girl was mouthing off, and the other girl said, "Man, leave that man alone. That man too fine for you to be arguing with."
That's funny.
She said, "You're gonna argue with him, and he ain't gonna give me my number. Give me his number like that." He said, "I'm not giving you my number anyway."
I'll tell you one thing, man. He is a strong kid.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't believe his bodybuilding pictures. Really.
yeah. He was doing 500 the other day, 550 the other day.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I
How
could
long has he
still
been?
take him
How
though,
long has he
Justin.
been training like that? How many years?
About 2.
That's it?
Yeah, but Justin, I could still take the guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he and his brother used to work out all the time. And when his brother came in, he walked over and put his arm next to his brother and said, "Damn, you got soft."
That's
Damn,
the
you
one that
got
was the
soft.
Marine, right?
Yeah, he said Marines made you soft like that.
Yeah.
He's gonna be all
Interesting.
right. He just needs to get up there and get all that stuff settled. They actually, like, I don't know if you heard, but the recruiter called him, the police recruiter called him a couple of weeks ago, and then he sent him in all the post stuff and everything else. And then he called him and he says, "Now, when do you come up to visit?" He said, "I'm coming up to move." He said, "Oh, I missed that. I didn't realize you were moving." He said, "When you gonna be up here?" He said, "I'll be up there the 14th, get settled the 15th, be available up there." He said, "Well, come see me the 16th." He said, "Call me that
Oh,
morning and
he
come
shot
on
up
in."
a. Okay, good.
He said, "Come on in." He said, "And I'll walk you around and let you meet some people, like this, to introduce you to
But he
people."
he went for an interview already, right? And they did his
He
background, right?
just talk to him over the phone.
Yeah, they did a telephone interview.
Yeah. And he said he
But
because
now,
like he's got
now he's gonna have to have his fingerprints taken.
his polygraph,
And
all other crap. He
yeah, I
good.
mean,
He ain't worried about
drug
that.
test.
Yeah, he good. He's good with all that.
Yeah, but yeah, and that can delay things sometimes.
Well, he's gonna be at the brother's house, and so they know that, so they know. I don't think he's gonna be that long.
But
Because
again, like me, I'm not telling him to do it like I did, but I applied like in 6 different departments when I first tried to get
well,
on.
when he resigned, he should have went to JP, Slidell, all of those and put them in. St. Tammany, Mandeville, all of them should have had application put in. You should have hit them all.
I was going on Baltimore. I was a cop up in Massachusetts. I was a sergeant, and I gave it up, and I resigned because I was accepted on Baltimore City Police. So I was supposed to start the academy on the following Monday. So I end up making arrangements, get my U-Haul. You know, you move by yourself in them days by renting a U-Haul trailer.
Yes, I still do it that way.
And I was packing the U-Haul trailer, and the investigator from Suffolk County, New York, called me, and he's at 1 o'clock, and he says, "Can you be here by 7? Because you're going to get sworn in tonight, but don't tell nobody. The injunction's been lifted, and you're going to get sworn in. But if the word leaks out, they'll put in another injunction." And that's what happened. And I started the academy the next day.
Well,
And I never showed up in Baltimore. Never showed up
his
in
academy
Baltimore.
post training was over almost 700 hours, like 681 hours, and they only needed 400 and something hours. So they had extra stuff that they put in there and everything else. He came out #1 in the class. He was #1 in the fire department class. He's always been a top qualifier with the weapon at the class.
He's one of the law enforcement superstars.
Well, he is. He technically is, you know. So the bottom line is they looked at that and they said, well, he said, when we bring you up here, he said, after you interview, he said, if we hire you, basically, they didn't say when we hire you, they said, if you hire you, we hire you, everything checks out. They said, we will give you your badge, your gun, commission. You'll work FTO with a guy and with an FTO. And then if you need a class that week and is running that week, we'll put you in the academy that week.
Right.
He said, take your test, pass it, and come back, you know?
Yeah.
He said, so you'll be doing both. And you'll be getting paid. It said, we'll make
That's
sure we're
good.
paying you. So
When I first got hired in Massachusetts, they hired me 2 weeks after I got out of the Army. No academy, you know. You roll with somebody for a week, you know, and then okay, you know what you're doing.
A
Go
week.
ahead. Go on your own.
Good luck in a week.
But I was a part-time cop already in another town. But again, I never went to a police academy in Massachusetts. And I was the military police in the Army. So, but months later, they had the academy, and I went, graduated from the police academy in Massachusetts.
Well, Hess, that was in the Marines and was military police, that was his FTO, told him the other day, he said, dude, he said, why don't you go in the Marines? He said, sign up for the Marines and be a military policeman, do that for 4 years and then come back and you go in anywhere you want.
Yeah.
You'll walk right into it. But he's got a hand tattoo. I said, you can get a waiver on that.
Or wear a bandage.
or wear a glove. He wears a glove anyway.
Right.
You know, he didn't listen to me when I told him not to do it.
So what's his job in the military?
Which one? My other one?
Yeah.
He's an aircraft maintenance officer.
Okay. Aircraft maintenance officer.
Yeah, he's an aircraft maintenance officer over the last Harrier group the Marine Corps has.
And he's on a ship that they take off Harriers from, right?
Yeah, not yet though. They're off now. They're going to go back on the 18th, come back, and then go back again for 6 to 9 months. And he's at Cherry Point, North Carolina, but he's getting ready to go on that mount out. And that's going to be the last mount out the Marine Corps does for about a year and a half, 2 years, because they're going to refurbish a lot of these ships. And the Harrier group, when they come back, they're going to decommission them. So everybody's going to have a big plaque that says all the people that were involved in it, the last Harrier group in the Marine Corps being decommissioned, the whole works. And he's going to be a captain by the time he comes back. And like I told him, I said, you're going to never go. I said, go get this 9 months over with, because you're never going on another one. You never. Even in a wartime, you'll never touch another one because you're ranked. You know, because you'll be a captain and above, and then you're finished. I said, you may be a major by the time it's time for another one. I said, Dan, I said, how many majors they put on? He said, none. I said, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I said, you
gotta
got a
get
9 month period that you're going to have to suck it up, you know?
They're gonna get the F-35 replacements.
Yeah.
That's what they're getting.
But you see, when I talked to him that way, I said, just suck it up, sir. You know,
Right. How
no,
many
then I'm
years
nice.
how many years did you do, Joe?
13 years, 8 months, 29 days.
How many?
13 years, 8 months,
Oh,
29
13
days.
years. That's it. Why did you retire after that amount of time?
I was stupid and pissed off.
Oh, somebody, annoyed you and you just said, that's it?
Oh, I was done. I had to re-enlist to go to Okinawa. And I was up for warrant officer. I was a staff sergeant, a gunnery sergeant warrant sitting in my book. So they were going to promote me to gunny. I had a date that they were going to promote me to gunny, but it was going to be prior to me leaving for Okinawa. I'm sitting there, and Major Beckers calls me up. He's Lieutenant Colonel Beckers, and he says, "Are you ready to put them bars on?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "You on the final cut? We'll know sometime tomorrow." Like that. He says, "You got my vote." He said, "Because I work for him." He says, "You got my
You
vote."
didn't-
He said, "I wish
you
you'd have
didn't
done
get-
this years ago."
You didn't
So
get the promotion.
the
Yeah.
next morning, he calls me and he says, "I have a question for you. Do you know a Colonel Voigt?" I said, "I know a Major Voigt, probably the same guy." He said, "Yeah, he remembered you." I said, "What was this about?" I said, "What's the matter?" He says, "You remember when you told him to stick the Marine Corps 12 years earlier?"
Really?
Yeah, because he was screwing me. It was going to be unauthorized accident. I was home on emergency leave, and I was told to call in and it extended, and he wouldn't do it. And I said, "Well, my dad's about to die." We thought he was about to die. I said, "I can't leave. I'm here. I've got paperwork saying that you're supposed to extend it." And he said, "I'm not doing it." I said, "Well, you know where I'm at. Stick to Marine Corps right now. I'll worry about it later." So when I finally went back, 180 days later,
Oh, you
okay,
went
6 months,
AWOL. You went
180
AWOL.
days. Oh yeah, 180 days.
Oh,
I got a
wow.
slap on the wrist. That's all I got was a slap on the wrist. They said I was at fault, but they were at fault. It cost me $500. That was my slap, and it was suspended, by the way. Reduction in rank,
Oh, you
500
didn't
bucks
have to
suspended.
pay it?
No, suspended.
Wow.
But he didn't like the fact, and he wanted to really convict me of it, put me in a special court martial.
Right.
And when it came down, and then the colonel at the time was going to suspend the whole thing and just get rid of it. Colonel was on leave. The major signed the paperwork. Major Voigt. He got the
Yeah.
paperwork and said, "Oh shit, yeah, signed it." So it got put in my record. So then when he turned me down for warrant officer, right?
You had a
A
few
new
words
Marine
with
Corps
him.
order came out the same day that if you had any disciplinary action in your career, hired in battalion office hours, you can't even submit for warrant officer anymore. So I couldn't even apply for the next year. And Major Baker said, "I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you about this." He said, "It kind of sucks." I said, "Don't worry about it." And then the sergeant major called me and he says, "Okay, we got two things we can do. Let's get you re-enlisted, get you out of here to Okinawa. I know you're pissed off, and let's get you promoted." Because I had my paperwork. I had like 2 weeks left. And I said, "No, it's just discharge me." I said, "Because I got screwed. I'm not going to deal with it anymore."
Yeah.
7 years later, I said how stupid I was. But
Hey, Frank Rizzo. How you doing?
Hey, Frank.
hey, I wonder if Frank saw Judy today. They're never in a room together.
Well, that's some story, Joe. I didn't know all of that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so I made, it was kind of good in a way because a couple of years later, my dad was dying. This is after I got out, and I was able to come back here because I was working in South Carolina, and I was able to come back here, and I was with him for the last 6 months. If I was in the Marine Corps, I would have been in Okinawa having to get back, and I wouldn't have been with him no more than about 2 or 3 weeks if I got
Yeah.
back. So it all worked out.
Hey, Jody.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? Something went on. I hit the wrong button over here typing.
Oh, you're here. You're still here. Just don't hit any wrong buttons on Facebook.
Joe's not promoting Facebook.
No.
I mean, I really want to know. I did get a message from him. It says, your Facebook account has been restricted from advertising. So it had to be when I put that second one in.
Yep.
And what happens if, and the worst part about it, I had another one I was getting ready to put in. So I'm not putting any more.
See, after all these years now, Jody and I go way back.
Oh,
He
do you?
was one of the first guys that I got to know. And you could just tell when somebody's a good guy.
Yeah.
And we kept in touch all these years. And then this new guy starts popping up in the chat. This guy named Frank Rizzo. And I'm saying, oh, he's a pretty good guy too. So we kept in touch. But until right here now, I didn't know they were the same person.
Same person, yeah. Because Joe's always teasing him. Which one are you today?
Yeah.
I'll say it. So Frank, Jody's been here earlier. If you see him again, tell him y'all get in together so y'all can talk to each other.
Yeah, that's funny. But he might have told me this already, that he's really the same person. And if I didn't write it down, I forgot. So I'm writing it down this time. But you're
Well,
going to
do you
get a
know-
hold of me.
do-
So give me your address so I can get that to you. One way or the other. He
Do you
won
know,
the Amazon gift card for my monthly giveaway.
Oh, he won the Amazon gift card, huh?
Yeah.
That's a
So,
rig contest.
It's always rigged.
Just
It's the people. I give it to the people I like.
Yeah, I tried putting it on.
I like Jody.
I got
I'm
kicked
giving
off.
it to Jody. I'm not giving it to this guy Frank.
Yeah. Do you know Daryl Williams, W Drones?
Nah, I don't know him.
Yeah, he comes in Paul's every once in a while. He passed through here the other day, and he came over and we went to fly. And I joke with him every time he comes on. He said he's Daryl. I said that's Daryl, and he's got another brother named Daryl from Newhart.
Okay.
Yeah, he came out the other day and was flying. He put his
Where'd you
video
go?
out.
Where'd you fly?
We did it at Sunset Point. He wanted somewhere to go with the Avata 2. So I told him he can go flying through the pavilion thing, the broken pavilion thing. And he went through it forward, came back and did a loop back. The pole almost took him out. Come close.
Wow.
And he had every swallow in the area chasing him. And every time he'd do a flip and start to come backwards, he'd look up and they'd be going passing around. He
Yeah.
said, wow. But he was going back to San Antonio. We were out there for about an hour and a half.
That's good.
That's the good thing about this community. You get to meet people.
Yes. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yesterday I flew with Rob Kamada in the morning,
Yep.
and we went to Port Jefferson. And that's where Rob had lost his drone, last
Oh.
June,
Yeah.
the Mavic 3 Cine. But
Never
anyway, he had his replacement drone with him, and we're flying the ferries, getting shots of the ferries, and it was good. Everything went good, And then he ended up flying the Neo around too. It was good. And he says, we got to go to the ice cream shop where the guy found my drone.
Yeah.
So I got to thank him.
Yep.
So we went to the ice cream shop and we met the owner of the ice cream shop. And Rob bought me an ice cream.
So the guy,
Uh-huh.
was it on the guy's roof or something of his shop?
No, it's in like a courtyard of stores, a square.
Okay.
It's called Chandler Square. And what happened is it descended, lost control, and it descended on its own a good half a mile from the launch location,
Right.
hit one of the trees, and then it came down hard. But it was only, I guess, a 20-foot drop at that point.
So was the shop owner just happened to be outside when it fell? or
No,
something?
no. The shop owner came in the next day and found it on the ground.
Oh wow.
apparently. Well, no, we were there early. We were there, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Shop
Yeah,
owner
I got-
came in at 11 to open, and she found it. His wife
Where-
found it.
How did they get a hold of him to return it? Did he have his number?
Well,
on
that's
it or
what
something?
happened. They didn't know nothing about drones, and he didn't have a prominent sticker other than his FAA number, the reg
Uh-huh.
number on the outside. So after 7 months or 8 months, his friend who's a drone pilot, actually his brother is a drone pilot. He says, "Let me pop this battery out," and he popped the battery out of the Mavic 3 City, and
Uh-huh.
Rob had put his personal Aviano aerial photography sticker on that, and that's how they tracked him down.
Oh,
And they called him, and they called him. Says, "Hey, are you Aviano aerial photography?" He says, "Yes,
Yeah.
I am."
You know the easiest way to actually do it, and Paul actually did it one day. He found a guy's drone and he just called the FAA and
Yes,
he gave
they'll
him
do it too. Of course.
Yeah, he gave
a lot
him
of
the
people
number.
just don't do that.
And
I
he
mean,
gave him the
this
number
guy's
and they reached
daughter.
out
This
to him.
guy's daughter was a sixth precinct cop who patrols that area, and he didn't even tell her about it.
Wow.
But what they should do, anybody who finds a drone should report it to the police and turn it in. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Well, and the FAA actually contacted the guy that Paul called and
Yep.
gave him the number. They got his info out of their
And they
database
tracked them down. Yes,
and they
tracked
called
them
him
down.
and gave him Paul's number and then they ended up talking.
Nice. Yeah.
And Paul was lucky on that one. Here's Boone. Look at Boone walking around.
Well, honestly, if you're going to fly a drone, you should have a contact number on there on a sticker.
I put my phone number. So what
Yeah,
I
it
did in the
just
beginning
make-
was my return address label with my handwritten phone number.
Yeah, because that's the best thing to do. I mean, that's the easiest way they're going to get a hold of you.
Oh, I don't got
And-
headphones on. Here we go. This is the old way. I used to do it.
Yeah.
With my return address. That's when I hand wrote my snig. But then my son, he ended up making some labels for me. And then of course, you got to have your own personal sticker on the drone.
Yep.
Well, what
And
you do is,
There's the FAA number.
well, that's what I did. I just went and bought me like a little cheapy, like $30 label maker. And
Yeah.
I used to print labels out and put them on the sides of mine. It had the number and the phone
Yeah.
number on it.
Oh man, I was downloading pictures before, and I forgot to turn off the drone.
Well, it's got a fan. That was good. Where'd Paul go? I got a picture to show him.
I have no idea where he went.
Yeah, he's gonna like this. He's probably making ice cream. About the ice cream time.
There was good ice cream too, by the way. It's a nice shop.
Yeah, there's an ice cream shop down the street from me, and I keep meaning to go in there and try it, and I haven't. But
The guy was a
they're-
nice guy too. The owner.
The St. Tammany Sheriff said they refitted their vehicles for National Donut Day.
What happened? What did they do?
They refitted their vehicles for National Donut Day.
Oh,
Look at the tires.
oh Jesus! Yeah, yeah.
So it's today's National Donut Day, so Paul can eat all he wants.
Is it really? Is that what they said? Today's National
what they're
Donut
saying.
Day.
That's June 6th. That was just showed up from June 6th.
Oh my God.
If anybody knows of a DJI RC2, I want to get one cheap. I don't want to pay full price though.
Yeah, getting one
I
cheap
don't
for
think
hardcore.
I don't want to have to pay more for the controller than this drone.
Look at him, Ray. That's the RC2. I bought that one when I bought the Neo, so I'd have the controller to fly it.
Yeah, right. And it works,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it works. It
And
works
you like
better.
it better, right?
I like it better with the goggles and the motion controller.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
But if I'm just going outside to fly quick, that's easy.
That's what I like. I like easy.
Yeah.
I definitely like easy. Let's see if this thing's still charged up. Yep, it is. Look at that. No, it's not.
Let me make sure I got that top lock open because Justin's coming over sometime. I don't know when.
Yeah. Rob had his little Avada up. He was zipping it around. And it was cool. See, I got my return address label on that too. And then my son had made me an extra telephone number label.
Yeah, that's the way to do it though.
Yeah. So,
Because like you said, people don't know to call, you know, and they
yeah.
might turn it into the police department. Police department might not even care to look into it, you know.
Yep, and you got that too. Oh, there we go, the light. I took your suggestion, Joe. You said the light really stabilizes it.
It does.
So
Now,
I
I'll tell
like,
you one other thing the light does. It makes that battery get a little warmer. I found that out.
oh, really?
Yeah, because I flew it without the battery and it stayed at about 117. And with the battery, it went up to about 129.
Okay.
I don't think it's enough to hurt anything.
I wouldn't think so. What do you think,
Now,
Justin?
I have a plan in the next couple of days there, Captain Ray. The next flight with the Avata 2 is my 100th flight with it.
I'm
So
sorry, I
it's
hit the
going through
wrong
the
button.
tugboat.
Go off my bed.
It will go through the tugboat.
I'm not finished making it.
But the problem is, I haven't,
Come on.
the 2 times I've gone out there to do
Oh,
it, the
wow.
winds have been like 24
Come on.
miles an hour.
Not for this.
No, for the Avata 2, 10 might be good.
Yeah.
Because I've got a song written out through Suno AI. I put in what I wanted, then I took it and I put all my words in and changed it more Louisiana style and everything else. So I got the song ready to go. It's on my phone. So when I will play it as I take off so I could follow it, the song. And when it's time to go through the tugboat, I'll be going through the tugboat.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna, because I've done it before like that and it works because you play it 2 or 3 times and remember the song. So that when you're flying, you know when it's getting ready to go through. So it just make the circle back, line it up and go through it.
He's back on there again.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I have a feeling this guy who was supposed to stop, he must have changed his schedule. I don't know. I told him no rush, but I really wanted to see him within an hour.
Yeah. Hey, Paul,
Yeah.
the other day it was National Donut Day. On the 6th, I wish I'd have known it, I'd have told you. But St. Tammany Parish refitted one of their vehicles on National Donut Day. That's what they did to it.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if that's actual like AI
That looks
or if
AI.
yeah, it does. Or if, yeah, that looks just too.
Yeah, because right through the center, it's like, wow.
You know what? That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
AI. Take it back. That's not AI. That's somebody that's damn good with a cut and paste. Because I
You
can
think
see it
that-
right here in a
That's the
section
first time
like
I've
right
seen
here.
anything like that.
Yeah, right here. Okay. What they've done, I can tell you what they did. They put the donut there, copies of the donuts. They had to somehow have the donut turned because you can see the tire back in here.
Yeah.
And then right here, it's a little, it's not exactly straight. You can see where they've gone back. And what I would do is I'd make the donut, I'd recopy this part right here and I'd put that there and I'd lay it on top. And then I'd take the like a eraser and just go down the line like that. So that's what they did.
Well, yeah,
Let's
but
copy
that's impressive.
Yeah, the back one's even harder to do because you gotta copy both pieces and then you gotta put it back and then you gotta make sure you makes it look. Now, if it's AI, it could have been, I guess, but it looked to me like that one line by the front of the tire doesn't look straight enough to be
Right.
AI. It looks like somebody took it because that's what I would have done. I'd have stuck something there and then I'd have copied that area and put it over the top, and then I'd have lightened it so I could see where where the donut was, and I just file it down with the eraser like that. Because that's what it looks like. That edge looks like it's been erased. Because it's a really sharp edge. It's not just a rolled edge.
I got two guys that are interested in the Air 2S today on the marketplace, but half of them, they don't really mean it. They don't even follow up when you say, yes, it's still available.
How much you asking for it, Ray?
$750. Yep.
And that's with a fly more kit?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. I bought it all separate, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Are you letting them talk you down at all, or are you just
I
sticking
already
with that?
knocked off $50. So that's
Okay.
it. Joe got 800, and I said, okay, if he got 800.
Yeah, I got 800 for the Mini 3 Pro. And then I got 1250 for the Avata setup with the two Avatas. And the guy, he was all enthused about it. Said, "Man, you did a great. This is a great deal you did for me." And it was probably worth about 1,500. But I wasn't going to fly it anymore because I was using the Avata too. If I would have, it's better just to get rid of it. So he wanted to learn acro. And I told him, I said, dude, when you learn it, it's going to be hard. Get over a field, do it manual. Get someplace where it's going to fall in grass. And and he texted me back the other day and he said, man, I really appreciate what you did. He said, I'm down to one. I lost one in the pond.
Oh,
And I said,
wow.
okay.
Hey,
So I
Ray,
lost one in the pond.
when you get the money, you can buy the best drone ever made, according to Joe, the Neo.
He's already got one.
Yeah, I got it.
You
Yes.
like it?
I haven't flown it that much.
And
Nah,
don't
I-
believe Paul. I didn't tell him that. He's just embellishing again.
Joe's a big proponent of the Neo. For the dollar amount and for the way it flies, he's
Is
a
it-
big,
See a Neo Superstar?
yes.
No, that's Lance Cadena.
I thought
I'll
that
tell
you
you,
guys had
last
that thing
time I
going with
flew
the
the Neo,
Avata.
let's see.
I thought it was in a because you were a big proponent of the Avata too, right?
Yeah, the
Yep.
Avata's that's the best drone ever. Last time I flew the Neo was May 17th.
Yeah, how do you know all of this? What do you got to
Air
log
data.
up it on the computer?
Air data, watch.
Oh, you got to add data. Yeah.
He flies that Neo just
Air
like,
data. Last
boom.
time was the 17th. If you
I gotta
do
go
the,
to my phone, figure out which drone I flew last.
Show the video, Joe.
No,
No.
but it's got all my logs in there. 782 flights. Total of
On your-
866
you have-
miles.
How many on the Neo?
No, that's all the drones I've got.
Oh,
782 flights. The total hours in flight time is 153.4228, and mileage is 866 miles on my flights.
that's good.
But that gives you all of the details in air data. So if you need a record on something, you can check your battery temperatures, you can check your flights. Like the other day, I was flying the last flight I did with the Mavic 3, they had some boats at the Tchefuncte River. So I went out there and I said, I'll go out there because they slow down, but then they take off again so you can chase them.
Yep.
And I was and I've never done it in the bend to the east of me because I was right there on the dock by Fairview Park. So I'm over in the bend of it, and the trees are behind me. And as I'm bringing it around like this, I look up and all of a sudden I got green.
Hey guys, I got an
Nothing picked
appointment
it up?
real fast.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
jumping off too. so.
All right. Sounds good,
Yeah.
Paul.